So it looks like a really good Jug game at the moment, especially because he has the mag with the Empower to help him scale as well. So we're probably going to see that like drums into Manta build from mid one. No need for a Battle Fury or anything this game, which a lot of the Jugs aren't even building anyway.
Not a lot of reserve time for Alliance after their main time goes. 11 seconds left on it. We'll see what they take in this final ban. What they're thinking in their final pick as well. Void Spirit gets banned. As OG are looking most likely for a mid. Bat Rider has been ignored this entire time.
I think it's more likely to be picked for OG, I think. Yeah. But it depends on... Because they're both looking for their mid heroes here, you would assume. I mean, Doom and Mag could both go mid, like, theoretically. But I think if you're Alliance here, like, you need some... Like, magic damage, you need some burst damage to be able to, like, at least bridge you through the early game to allow you to take these team fights. And that's why this, like, Quap and DP have been banned. Like, these early game presence heroes.
Ooh.
Now, that's interesting. So Limp has played Weaver before, mid, I'm pretty sure. But it could also be Doom mid and then Weaver 3. But that's not what I expected. I think the Weaver's good because it abuses the lack of lockdown that OG have, though. Like, they only really have RP at the moment. And Soulbind's annoying for Weaver as well, but... That's cool. Nice to see them do something different.
A Weaver pick, though, it's very odd.
I mean, something like Ember looks really good here for OG, I think.
Yeah.
Like they have the chains looks really good this game. Like you have the Empower as well on both the melee cores then. It's a quick hero that allows you to take these early engagements. Okay. It's the Topsa Monkey King. Okay, it's like it's the concept though that OG want to pick a hero that allows them to fight non-stop, like all the time. There's not going to be a cooldown that OG are waiting on with this Monkey King, right? Like it's just going to get that power.
Come around the map.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, they want to play quick. They want to put the pressure on the Spectre and the Weaver, and like this oh, it is Doom mid. Okay. And then S4's going to play the Weaver off lane.
Yeah, and I mean that means you're looking for yourself to get an Ags, or is this like that off-lane Ags Weaver?
So Weaver's going to be... I mean, Weaver isn't going to die in that lane. You remember we talked about the Grimstroke Jug combo with the Inkswell spin? I mean, Weaver's never going to die to that because he just Sakuchi away, which is nice. But I'd love to see how this mid lane goes between Topson and Limp. Because like we say, Limp's a really good laner, but I feel like Monkey King does well in this matchup. I prefer OG's lineup. I think they have the potential, especially if they come out ahead in the laning stage. I think they can just walk over Alliance. Because, like I said, I think they still have damage issues early on, Alliance. But
especially if OG continue to play like they did yesterday, just running at you non-stop.
Yeah, but I think for Alliance, especially, like this Undying should win the lane for the Spectre. Like Limp should have an okay time at least, because even if he's not doing great against the Monkey King, like he always has the Devour to keep up his farm. And I think S4, like this Weaver versus Jug, they should both just kind of trade farm. I think it's not one-sided either way at all. Yeah, I think a lot of this game comes down to the mid matchup, because if Monkey King gets going, I don't see a great way of stopping him.
Yeah, I think he just runs at you, and you really are in a lot of trouble when they just start moving around the map like this. Because I think they do have this kind of run-at-you lineup where you're using Stroke of Fate, you've got the slow there, if you've got early sixes, like RP, Wukong's, like so much to work with in terms of just kind of playing the aggro game that they played in yesterday.
Should we give the chat the chance to redeem their predictions now that they've seen the draft? Is that the right way to go? Ones or the twos, guys? Ones if you think Alliance is going to win. Twos if you think OG are going to win. And there's still the only two options. Are the voice lines gone? Can we talk again now?
Never. Never, never, never.
Here comes the OG crew in the bot lane.
Now they're coming over, and Nico Baby, Limp, and FNG are all here, so Topson just gonna start it off. So the Jingu damage was reduced, right? And that was...
Yeah. So they've increased Monkey King's base armor. I think it was from 2 to 5. So his laning, like... But they've changed the Jingu so that you get less damage from the Jingu. You get the same life steal, but you get less bonus damage, especially at level 1 and 2. So, like, your laning isn't quite so reliant on Jingu anymore. You're just a lot more tanky in general. Which I think is... It kind of works both ways. It's like, not bad. But in a winning lane, I think you would have preferred to have had the Jingu damage rather than the extra armor, right? So, like, in this lane, for example, where he should be doing well against the Doom, I feel like he would have been preferring to play the old Monkey King rather than the new one.
So Nico Baby down here bottom on this Spectre. We're here with the Undying, but up against the Phoenix as well as the Magnus. So how's this lane gonna go?
I think I was saying that Mag and the Spectre should both get some amount of farm at least, like Spectre, but Spectre probably more. Like I think the Undying just makes the lane a little bit harder for OG. And you have to remember, Sax is a strength hero on this Phoenix as well, so the decay's reducing his damage. Oh, this courier! Oh, Seb. What a disaster.
You know, lets that courier go down. Now he only has 3 tangos, and that's Salve in the grave with the courier. You do have Phoenix's Salve, so your sustain should be okay. FNG, though, doing a very good job of putting the pressure on to these 2 OG heroes.
This Spectre's just doing what he wants in this lane at the moment, really. They're not really touching him at all. Still has 5 tangos in herself, so... FNG definitely doing his job.
Thompson just heals back up with that balanced strike, and he's sitting at 7-3 right now, up against this Doom at 5-0.
Yeah, the level 3 is when this lane starts to get really difficult for the Doom, because the second point in Jingu makes it, you know, really difficult. Because all of a sudden the damage increase goes from 40 to 70 on each Jingu here. Limp manages to de-ward that medium camp as well. But Topson understands he's going to body block it instead. When you play this mid lane Doom, having this camp available is so important. That medium camp for the Devour.
You know, really good job by Topson to just, you know, have the awareness to block that camp too, because you know, you don't see that often. Just that step forward, playing that aggressive, and making sure that something as crucial as that camp getting blocked is on your priority list.
But look at the denies in the mid lane. Like, Topson has 8 denies already. It's 12-8 to the 8-0 of Doom. And like we talked about with Limp yesterday, it feels like his laning has been the strongest part of his tournament for most of this event. So the fact that Topson's like making his game really difficult already is not going to be fun for Limp at all.
FNG pushed out of lane for a moment. He's got a Salve. He'll heal up. Would love to not get hit by Saxo while this is going, that's for sure. And he comes back over and blocks the camp again.
Important,
just that awareness. Up towards top, mid one taking some damage. He's sitting low. He'll salve up. He's got the healing ward just level 1 right now as he sits level 3.
What did you expect?
Yeah, they're farming fine though, like in all 3 lanes on OG. I mean, this bot lane especially is doing much better than I thought it would. Seb's having a really good time. And he doesn't even have a stick against this Undying either.
Wait, it's 13 denies. Like, how are you going to farm up against this Monkey King? It's really not easy to just come and trade, especially when the creep equilibrium is sitting right up on the river.
Yeah, Limp's obviously not going to have an amazing time in this lane, but again, like we were talking about, he still has Devour. So you can always just try and help his farm a little bit with that.
Topson comes over and
DD.
blocks his camp again, and there's a DD. Limp doesn't have Infernal Blade to slow Topson down and maybe get in front of him to steal this DD, so now it's all on the Monkey King, and what can they do over mid to take care of Thompson at all? This is so difficult right now. If he goes though, the timing might be right. Undying coming over, Balanced Strike, that puts him at a full health. Hanskin makes the rotation. But with the double damage, he's still outputting so much and sustaining so much. You got 3 heroes up against just Thompson. Can't get the kill just yet. Has Jingu finally?
Oh my god!
Flashes the.
FNG's gonna die as well. I think.
Gets the kill. Looks over at FNG, and this is gonna be 2. Oh my! The double damage allows him to just get.
He's gonna go for the thread.
Just be 3. All right. Don't tell me he gets this. He's got Balanced Strike.
I'll take that.
He's gonna go for the courier instead. Wow.
Oh, what an absolute disaster! Because those supports rotating means that these side lanes have been a little bit easier for OG in the last, minute or so as well. But this Monkey King is getting a little bit out of control, isn't he? Here come the tips.
Jesus. Really, quite the aggression coming in from Thompson. Up 2K right now. You take a look at the net worth, and he is leading by so much over this Doom.
Yeah, but it's not just the net worth. Look at the XP difference as well. Like, he's so far ahead of the Doom here.
He's almost 2 levels ahead. He is 2 levels ahead now.
Yeah. Hanskin dies top, though. That must have been the spin Inkswell combo, I assume.
And look at this. Look at this. He's just running him down in between the tier 1 and tier 2. Thompson's not stopping. And I think we brought it up yesterday. The aggression that OG's been working with, or the way that they've been just going, it feels like pubs where you're just like, why am I getting outclassed right now? Top lane, Inkswell pops. You've got the Stroke of Fate with the Blade Fury. They get another kill, this time on an S4.
Middle tower is under attack.
They don't stop coming. And, this is... They're doing this to a team like Alliance. We've seen Alliance play so well this event. And now Limp's in trouble. Icarus dive. Limp trying to TP out, and will do so successfully. No Balanced Strike available for Thompson.
Yeah, if you're an Alliance fan, don't look at the net worth chart at the moment, because it's not pretty at all. These 3 AG cores sitting at the top, but yeah, like you said, the Monkey King being so far ahead of the Doom is big, but also this Magnus is having an amazing time in bot lane. Like, Seb's absolutely tearing it up down here. This Undying not worked as well as they would have hoped, unfortunately. And FNG even blocks the big camp down in the bot lane to stop mag farming that as well as the lane itself.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Inkswell, now it's just even more of a run at you kind of style. Now that you've got the Inkswell, Stroke of Fate hits both Hanskin as well as Limp, and you've got the Jingu proccing. Nico even makes the rotation, but I'm not certain what he's expected to do here. Obviously, Thompson getting a little bit low. If he can just prop the Jingu, he should be okay. Mischief procs the Jingu. Now, just needs one more hit. He has Balanced Strike up in 3. And they're just going to take what they've got and leave. But I say that, Balanced Strike comes in. They've got the dust. S4 forced to run.
He's just still alive. Like, they have to get these kills here, otherwise this is an absolute disaster for Alliance.
Yeah, they've rotated
I don't think
so many heroes.
I don't think No-Tail's enough there. Like, they've just given up so much, because now Seb down in this bot lane, with mid one TPing in, they're able to take this tier 1, and they're going to start losing more of the map on Alliance here. Thompson's just finds another kill as well.
Yeah, he might even just get S4 too. Comes in, needs one more shot.
Limp's coming though.
Thompson gets stunned and will eventually die. He gets a little bit overzealous there.
Massive kill for Alliance, so they really need to like stop this Monkey King from just walking all over them. So
4K lead just 9 minutes into the game.
Yeah, and Jug, has he got these drums finished?
And it's, we're not trying to say that this is a one-sided game by any means. We're not trying to just be like, oh, he's been playing this game perfectly, but they really have. And Thompson has been enabler when it comes to this so far. Just how well the lane went and what he was able to accomplish within the lane. I mean, especially when that rotation came out and he got 2 kills.
Yeah, it's not just about how well he did in the lane 1v1 against the Doom. It's all the the rotations he's being forced out at his other lanes. The pressure gets lifted a little bit. S4
towards top, uses the RP, gets the kill on S4. No Tail gets credit for that one. They stay too long under the tower.
And Seb's actually going for that blink first instead of the mech. So I think he really, because they're so far ahead, I think this blink like rush goes up in value so much more. And FNG is going to go down to Thompson here by the looks of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is what we were talking about within the draft. They're going to run at you. They're going to continue to move forward. They have Ink Swell. They have Stroke of Fate to slow you up. Boundless Strike comes in. And, you know, those are only a couple of things here that they have to deal with on the side of Alliance. They're going to run down No Tail. So they at least get that. Nico Baby gets credit for that kill. And he's sitting top of the net worth for Alliance. So, you know, he's trying to do everything he can to come back. But like we said, there's so many tools here for OG to just keep running at you.
I like Nico Baby's item build that he's going for these drums. He has to be able to try and take these fights early on.
He gets killed off by S4, so a couple of good pickoffs there for Alliance is exactly what they need.
The fact is 10 minutes into the game and Sax is still level 4 is a little bit of a worry for OG. Like, these supports are... I think No Tail just took the tome. So he's the one that's level 6. Oh, no, okay, no, it's still in base. No Tail's level 6 without the tome. Okay, so that's not too bad. So the Phoenix is going to be able to get level 6 off that pretty much. Yeah, he's really close now, so...
Dire are scanning.
It'd be interesting to see when this blink comes out from the mag, like this first big rotation they make with the egg RP play. Because he's only 100 gold off that now.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Yeah, it's a little bit different from Seb than we've been seeing. You know, usually he'll forego the Blink Dagger for a couple of items. You know, Arcane Boots Mech and the Guardian Greaves, and then he'll go Blink. But feels as though he needs the Blink Dagger earlier on.
Yeah, they get the deny on the mid-tier one though, which is nice. Phoenix hits level 6 though.
There's that Blink Dagger. So it just has to be delivered, and then if they fight with that first Blink RP, Alliance need to be very careful.
So S4 has this Diffusal Blade queued up. He's just bought the first Blade of Alacrity. I mean, it's okay, but like, I don't see it massively impacting this game. They do need a little bit more damage, so the Diffusal Blade's nice. Like we talked about in the draft, they had damage issues, but...
Tombstone try and take this stack. This is very important for Nico Baby to get here. He's struggling a little bit.
With the zombies, though, it should die quickly. Like, FNG's probably going to get some of this farm as well, but... It's a big net worth swing for Alliance, taking this ancient stack.
Yeah.
I think they should be happy that this has been, like, uncontested so far from OG. Unfortunately, FNG seems to be getting a lot of the last hits, but never mind.
Problem is, as they're taking it, here come OG, and they're going to lay down some vision, take that last ancient. Seb setting up to just blink in and have that RP. I don't know if they've seen the blink. I don't know if he's shown in lane yet, but I'm going to assume he hasn't.
Bot lane? Oh, he TP's away. Oh, no. The fact I think that was that the first haunt in this game? I think it might be the second, but like, whatever one it is, like, the fact you use this so early and don't get anything for it is an absolute disaster.
So not only is Thompson up there in the net worth, but all three cores on the side of OG are at about 6,000 net worth. Really far and ahead of the Alliance heroes. But S4, he gets caught. Sentry right there. And now they've got the Soulbind. Omni Slash comes through. FNG taking a lot of damage. Doesn't end up falling. Blade Fury mid one.
Egg on the high ground.
Kills here. There's
RP missed.
Supernova. They can't do anything to deal with this egg. It's going to pop. It's going to land and limp. In some trouble. These heroes on the side of Alliance are surviving for now, despite the fact that they've really thrown so much from OG. And now they're going to try and turn this, counter-initiate. But S4 running in, Shikuchi, and not really finding an opportunity to continue on.
All right, let's just summarize what happened there. I mean, that was so poorly executed from OG, but because they're so far ahead, it doesn't matter. Like, they missed RP. The egg on the high ground didn't actually hit anybody with the stun. Like, the RP... Sorry, the Omni Slash didn't even kill anybody. And they still walk away with 1 kill. On the call.
Yeah.
So that could... I mean, that could have been an absolute, like, disaster for Alliance. And they still end up losing the fight, though. Even though OG, like, missed all their spells.
Very odd. Like, such a weird engagement of, like, OG being the aggressors, throwing everything, only getting... I mean, they got the Doom, so...
Yeah, I mean... But what I'm saying is the fact that OG can miss so many spells there and the fight still isn't bad for them. Because because Alliance can't punish them. Because they don't have this damage at the moment still.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Inkswell, S4 in trouble, but telekinesis when coming over. Now use that time lapse and No Tail will get run down here. Alliance starting to level out of it. Find a couple of pickoffs, but they're still down 8,000 net worth.
Yeah.
It's going to be Deso for Monkey King and Manta for the Jug.
And Sax is going for this Meteor Hammer first build that we've seen from a lot of Phoenix players.
Where you just Icarus dive in, throw the Meteor Hammer on the tower, leave.
But it's also this idea we were talking about. Meteor Hammer's never a bad item. Like,
no.
It gives you, what is it, +8 all stats, I think?
Dire are scanning.
Yeah, +8 all stats, HP and mana regen. Oh, they're doing the Jug down bot.
Yeah, but can they get the kill onto the Jug? Thompson, meanwhile, kills off S4. And now the Supernova is down. They get the egg. They look over. And this is problematic for mid one. They lose both Soxa as well as mid one. Nico Baby, who gets both kills. Massive amount of kills there.
That's a huge kill. Like,
couple of kills there.
Yeah, the fact that Nico Baby gets both the kills as well. He gets an extra 500 gold off that. So all of a sudden, like, he's finished off this Yasha now. So he has to jump Yasha.
Tower is under attack.
Into the trees. And Wukong's under the tier 2 RP! Oh, Sam on a 3, and then taking out all 3 heroes. Lim, FNG, Nico Baby, all gone. Stolen Balance Strike hits on a Seb. S4 moving forward with the Shikuchi. Doesn't even have the damage to really do anything. No Tail and Seb are sitting low.
We're still alive!
Looking for Thompson, who survives with just 100 health. Seb.
Here comes Saxo as well.
It pops. Stolen Skewer. And Hanskin, he ends up going down to Seb, but S4 will at least take the life of this Magnus and continue forward.
Oh, like, that's a 3 versus 5, right, as well. Like, the Jug and the Phoenix are already dead from before. And, I mean, insane RP from Seb, though. Managed to set up with the Wukong's command as well. It's not just the Wukong's damage, but he also empowered Thompson as well, so all that cleave damage coming through. With this, I think he just picked up Deso now as well. So the physical damage output from OG is going to be off the chart at this point. Alliance, though, I mean, the big thing for them is even though Spectre died, he got that double kill before. So, like, he's still finding his way into the game here. And you've got to remember, yes, he's behind in net worth in comparison to the Jug, but he doesn't have Empower to work with. So the fact he's only, like, 1,000 gold or so behind actually is still pretty good for him. Like, Nico Baby's doing okay here.
8,000 lead, especially after yesterday. Anything still feels winnable, but Limp getting run down will burn out. Soxa gets the kill.
I mean, Limp's just not having a game.
No, he's 1-5-3, and he hasn't even been able to do anything, and that's since the laning phase.
Yeah, ever since Monkey King got level 3, he has struggled.
For TPing top.
They're gonna head into the Roche though. They don't have Haunt up for 20 seconds on Alliance, so it's a little bit of a difficult one.
Tombstone comes down, trying to push OG away from the pit, but they're gonna find S4 instead. He can't get the time lapse off as he's silenced thanks to the Phantom's Embrace of No Tail. So now they've got the Soulbind coming in.
Here comes Nico Baby though.
And now Supernova! Aegis is snatched by mid one. They can't even get that huge RP from Seb.
and this is so bad for Alliance. They're gonna lose everything. Nico Baby now on the run. 4 heroes gone on the side of Alliance, so try to TP out. Inkswell, I'm not sure it will pop in time.
Radiant's top tower is under
Just
attack.
getting
Radiant
away,
structures
but that
are
is 4
fortified.
heroes gone. Aegis into the hands of OG, and an even bigger deficit to deal with.
Dude, this new offlaner for OG looks pretty good. I mean, what a game Seb's having so far. Like,
Yeah.
Radiant's top
I mean, that's
tower
like the
is under
third good
attack.
RP we've had this game, and it's only
Radiant's
19
top
minutes
tower
in.
has
Like,
fallen.
he's doing insanely well. And you have to remember, it's not just the RP, but that original skewer on the Weaver at the start of the fight. With this, you see the ward they have just above the pit in their jungle. Like, it sees this Weaver coming in from the top side, and so they get the skewer with the follow-up silence from No Tail on the Grimstroke. And Weaver just gets 100 to 0 at the start of the fight.
There's nothing that S4 can do in the beginning of that fight. He just gets blown up.
He has this diffusal now,
The bounty which my
so
nature
they might be able to
requires.
find some key pickoffs here. Like, I think if they catch the Monkey King while this diffuser's up by himself, like, they do have potential to kill him off. But mid one, clears through this ancient stack here. Actually going for the Skadi next. Okay, I'm surprised. I thought he was going to go Abyssal instead. Especially when you're playing up against this Weaver, right, which can be a little bit difficult to lock down. But Skadi definitely not a bad item. Makes him a lot tankier. Limp's level
12k
10.
lead. Yeah, and Limp's just, like we said, he's really not having a game.
Radiant structures are fortified. Dire's structures are fortified.
Hasn't been able to do much of anything in this game, like you said, since level 3 for the Monkey King. Fell behind by 2 levels in the laning phase, and things have gone from bad to worse for him as we continue on. Icarus dive, Meteor Hammer onto the tier 3 tower. Blink Dagger picked up for Limp. That's basically all he's got.
Yeah, like, healing ward goes down here. How are they supposed to kill this healing ward? The only way they can do it is if Weaver goes in and, like, Sakuchi's in to try and kill it, but then he probably dies away, like, straight away after he does.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Dire's top tower has fallen.
And they take the tier 3. Haunt gets used. They've got the Soulbind onto this Undying as well as the Doom. The Inkswell pops, but it's not going to land. Supernova onto the back lines. It's not the best Supernova, but it does keep Alliance from jumping in. Bruce dive over. Meteor Hammer once again. Nico Baby needs to run. Omni Slash bouncing around. They'll get the kill on the FNG. It's just the Undying dead so far. 29 seconds does have buyback.
Yeah, they still have the Aegis, remember, as well on OG. So even if this Strug dies once, it's still not an awful fight for them.
Oh, Blink, Skewer, time lapse from S4, but they've got the silence onto the Doom, and can they get anything out of this for Alliance? A lot of heroes on the side of OG, but they just don't fall. Buyback comes in.
They
from
don't have any
S4.
damage.
Limp ends up dead. He's got no buyback. He's gone for 30. Nico Baby on the run, and OG just keep coming. Blink, Skewer misses. Look over, Topson. Telekinesis. He'll end up dead. 50 seconds without buyback. Gets caught by himself up towards top.
I'm not sure what Thompson's doing over there, but they are going to take the mid-racks anyway. Still have the Aegis up if necessary here. Good skewer.
FNG silenced. He ends up dead. Nico Baby running forward, and they've got the telekinesis on the No Tail, lifted up, thrown down, but
They've doomed up Seb as well.
it's Limp,
Tower is under attack.
and Limp just can't catch up to Seb anymore. He threw the Doom, but I don't know if
Dagger's
they're
coming.
gonna reach him in time. Spectral Dagger comes through. Limp, War Stomp, hits him up. So Seb,
He's got the blink.
he just gets out.
I think.
Step with the blink and the skewer.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I mean, the fact he gets out there just sums up this game for Alliance.
Yeah.
Oh, Thompson just TP's in again, but he blows up S4.
Blows
But,
up S4, might lose his own life. Meteor Hammer coming down, telekinesis is there, but Nico Baby! Oh, Meteor
the
Hammer
healing
from
ward.
Satsa, and they'll get the kill on a Limp. Losing another couple of heroes here for Alliance.
Oh, the healing ward comes in from mid one at the last second to keep Thompson alive. I mean, they're just styling on them at this point. Like, they're 17,000 net worth up at 23 minutes into the game. And this is exactly what we saw Nigma 2 to Alliance yesterday as well. Like, they punish them for having this really good laning stage, and it just gets out of hand so quickly by these early team fights.
Go towards bottom and look to take this tier 2.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Your hammer comes down. They take the tower very quickly. They'll continue to move forward. RP available here for Seb if they're going to try and take this high ground. I mean, everything's available for OG. But we have seen, what, one bad RP from Seb. Other than that, he's been really on point. And not only the RPs, but the skewers too. Blink Warstomp, they've got the lockdown on OG, but just no follow-up damage.
S4's coming in from behind.
And he's dusted, so he needs to leave.
And this is what I was saying about the diffuser though. Like, it gives them this damage, but because they're so far behind, it just doesn't do anything. Like, they can't get the damage off.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen. Dire are scared.
Strike hits 3. RP to follow it up. It's picture perfect coming in from OG. And they are going to clean up 3 heroes. Hanskin FNG, Nico Baby die. Doom's thrown out. It's really not worth much. Limp ends up falling. Buyback from Nico Baby. Supernova down. That's going to pop and hit on S4, but GG's already called. OG will take game 1 in the lower bracket final.
Yeah, it was about as much a stomp as it was in game 2 and 3 yesterday for Alliance, unfortunately. I know we talked a lot about OG about that game, but they did play so well, right? But the problem with Alliance's draft is I don't see how they were supposed to come back into that game.
Yeah.
I was talking about after the draft that I think if OG had a good time in the laning stage, I think they just go out of control, and that's exactly what happened. They never really looked back after that, those first couple of fights. They had one bad fight around that Radiant top jungle high ground, like next to the mid tier 2. And it didn't go great for them because they missed their spells, but they still come out ahead 1-0, like in terms of kills. But after that one fight, like they just hit every single RP onto at least like 3, and they just have so much damage coming through.
No, OG just continued to run over Alliance, and that's the game plan that we saw yesterday from them. Just keep going, and that stemmed from the fact that Thompson had such a good time in the mid lane. I mean, it was really disgusting how well he did when he was just beating and destroying Limp. And no offense to Limp, but he did get destroyed in that mid lane. He was down 2 levels. Once level 3 came in, and Jingu was coming, especially that 3-man rotation to try and kill Thompson, and he comes away with 2 kills instead of them getting just the Monkey King. Like, that was the beginning of the end, it felt like. Like, just that point right there, it's just like, how are we going to beat this guy? Like, this is so difficult for us. And, at times it really does seem one-sided from our point of view. But, I mean, they walked through Alliance. They didn't have any answers.
So let's talk about
no answers.
Let's talk about for Alliance what should have gone better for them that we thought could have gone better for them at the start of the game, right? Like, this Undying down in the bot lane protecting the Spectre didn't stop the mag from farming at all. Yeah. So that's problem number 1. When you have an Undying in your lane, which is supposed to be this massive lane winner, and Magnus still comes up ahead of the Spectre in the laning stage, something's gone wrong, right? Maybe you need to think about your hero picks or whatnot. This top lane was the Weaver, right, against the Jug. They kind of just trade farm. I think Jug came out a little bit ahead, but it wasn't really by much. This mid lane, we talked about how it should have been better for the Monkey King. They have last pick overall in the draft. I don't want to see Limp on Doom again. I want him to play something more active. Like we saw yesterday in game 1 from Alliance, even if they have a bad time in the laning stage, when he played his Lina, he made the right rotations around the map that can make kills happen with like getting the Yules and whatnot. Doom isn't really that kind of hero. Like, it's a little bit more passive. It's a little bit more greedy. So hopefully they pick him something that can be a bit more active next game so that even if they fall behind, they can still make plays on the map. Because unfortunately that was just one-way traffic from about minute 5. Like,
yeah, I mean, do you have to secure him a different hero earlier on in the draft? Like, they went to Doom pretty early, but then they put it on Limp, and he really didn't have a good time over in the mid lane at all. So, do you secure him something like the Lina earlier on, because that's been a second phase ban quite a bit.
Even like
something that can play a little bit more actively than the Doom did. I mean, there's got to be something.
I think DP, Quap, Lena are the three for me that I would look for Limp, but we'll have to see what they go for.
Yeah, so we'll be back with Game 2 in just a moment. OG lead, Alliance 1-0. We'll be back with Game 2 in just a second. Stay right there. We'll be right back.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
First blood. I'm just getting started.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
This battle isn't over yet.
Regeneration.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Bounty.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
It should have been.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Attack. Sharpen has fallen to the Radiant. Radiant's middle barracks has fallen. Our scattered.
All right, and welcome back here. More OGA Dota Pit action for the EU CIS region. We got ourselves Game 2 between OG and Alliance coming your way. And, well, OG, start to finish, really felt like that they just dominated Game 1. There's not much to say that really counters that point. Alliance just kind of fell flat in game one, and whether that's due to the draft or just the fact that OG have been playing this don't stop running at you lineup, it could be a combination of the two as well, because it really just was OG from start to finish. A couple of minutes into the game, they were up 2-3K, especially when they went, 3 heroes mid to try and kill Topson, come away losing 2. Like, it may sound biased, it may sound one-sided, but at the end of the day, OG played that game from start to finish ahead. There's nothing really there from Alliance that, gives me the thought of like, they did these things right. They played well with what they're, what they had, but playing well and being down 12,000 net worth, you could do that and you're still going to lose.
Although, the problem they had last game was that even if they cast all their spells properly and everything, it was still really difficult to be able to kill anybody, because they couldn't kill the healing ward. If Jug ever spins, then what do? It's It was a difficult one. And I will say, how many times this tournament have we seen very generalized bans in the first 2 against teams, right? Like, it happens all the time. Like, we see the Doom bans, the Venom bans, Undying bans. It doesn't matter which teams are playing, they always come out. What do Alliance have to ban against OG in game 1 and game 2? Invoke or Wisp.
Yep.
And it gives OG this massive upper hand already coming into the draft, right? That they're forcing Alliance to have to ban these 2 heroes that they don't even necessarily have to play.
There's that Grimstroke again. And they're constantly going to this Grimstroke pick 1 time and time again. I know you have to ban that Invoker. Like, there's so many things here that feel so good for the side of OG that you have to ban, and you're giving up things that No Tail hasn't had this banned once yet, and he seems to just be spamming this hero through this event.
But it's pick your poison. We've talked about it all event. There's 2 bans. You're gonna ban Grimstroke phase 1 against OG? If you do, it feels pretty crazy. But if you don't, they're gonna first pick it anyway. I really like this hero. I don't know why it disappeared for such a long time, because it was being picked loads and then it just disappeared completely, and now it feels like it's being picked again. It's just really odd. Like, it gives you wave clear, it gives you a silence, which is really key. It gives you a 3.7 second AoE stun at level 4, and it gives you team fight with the Soulbind. Like, it enables so many different heroes. I don't really understand why it disappeared so heavily. But OG definitely making good use of this hero.
Yeah, now they're going to be up against the Phoenix, which is picked up for Alliance, something that OG had in the previous game. I think OG, Saksa especially, he's played a couple of heroes here that have looked so good, Phoenix and Windrunner being a couple of them. And now the Magnus immediately into the Morphling, and Morphling was a second phase ban from OG in the previous game. So they pick up the Morphling here, and we'll see what they're going to do with it. And Doom's open, but I just don't think you put Limp back on that Doom.
No,
I really need to find him a better playmaker.
Yeah, give him a playmaker, give him some tempo-based hero. I mean, I like that OG go back for this Grim Mag again. Like we saw from last game, Seb Mag is very, very good. He missed that first RP, like, around that 1-5, but everything after was insanely good. Like, he always found the right openings.
Yeah.
So I think it's up to Alliance now to ban heroes that work well with the Inkswell and the Empower. Things like Ricky you have to think about as well, PL, any melee, like even things like Ember, which we talked about, got completely untouched last game, which would have been really strong. Sven is still a potential pick, I think, for OG.
I was very confused by that Weaver last pick. Like, I think we came up with some good ideas. Obviously, we're not the ones drafting. We're not, we don't have communication with the teams here. We don't have some landline to connect to them. But that Weaver, it just didn't feel like it did anything. Like, what did that Weaver do in the previous game?
But I think the issue didn't come from the Weaver pick. It came from the position they put themselves in before they had to last pick overall.
Yeah.
Because they needed so much from their last pick, and I don't think there was anything that would have solved all their problems. Like, they had damage issues, they had the early team fighting issues as well. So it didn't go well for them last game. It doesn't mean the Weaver couldn't have worked, ever. They have played it before Alliance, and it's been, pretty good for them still. And I like that they give Hanskin this Phoenix, though, so they have a little bit of team fight to play off of already. I'd be interested to see what they pick for FNG, though, because I would assume this is going to be a Nico Baby Morphling, but it could still be Limp as well.
Yeah.
And I want to know what they want to pair with the Morphling in the laning stage if they put it as the position 1. great ban by Alliance. This Lion is something that we've not seen a huge amount of from a lot of teams. But when Alliance feel like they need a little bit of lockdown, this is like their go-to position for hero, the Lion. So when you're playing up against this morph, you obviously know you're going to want a little bit of catch, at least. Something like Wind Ranger is still in the pool if they want to go for it, but it's not as reliable as the Lion.
Yeah, for sure. I'm thinking about what FNG is going to play. I'm taking a look at his previous games taking a look at the previous games for Alliance. They've gone to the Enchantress. Of course, they've gone to the Undying quite a bit. Bane is still one of those supports that I think is very popular right now. That is very good.
I think Enchantress could be an interesting one because the Purge is really good against the Empower and the Inkswell. It takes them both off. So if you purge off the Inkswell, whatever duration it's got through of the charge, effectively already, that's when it explodes. So if you purge it off halfway through the duration, it will do like a 1.5 second stun-ish. Instead of the whole duration when it would have exploded at the end. I hope that makes sense. I feel like I didn't explain it very well.
I understood you. I got you.
The Twitch chat are pretty smart people, so they'll get it, I'm sure.
For the most part,
Whoa, Twitch chat are always smart,
for the
Beacop.
most part.
They never lie. They're always positive.
Never lie. Always positive. I mean, they were telling the truth. They always tell the truth.
I like the AM ban as well. Pretty good.
There's the ban. Yeah.
Pretty good matchup against the Morphling. Yeah, I think Bane's the solid choice, the safe one.
Yeah.
Such a strong laning support hero.
Yeah. We've seen Bane's just be like very strong. Nightmare, the right clicks putting in like it's Brain Sap and Feeble is what we've been seeing level 1 into level 2.
I think Rubik looks pretty good for Saxor at the moment as well. Because you have the instant lift available for the Morphling, and it's also a pretty easy Fiend script still.
Yeah.
Pairs up well with the Magnus in the laning stage at least a little bit. My only problem then would be that they don't really have a Vessel buyer necessarily in their 3-4-5, which might be a bit of an issue.
Does someone like a mid-Kunkka get Vessel anymore or no?
Yeah, it can do. I was going to say I'd like them to pick something that has the potential to hit the egg. Would be nice. So Slark's okay. It still works well with the Magnus. It's fine. It's okay against Morphling as well, because if you ever pounce him, he can't waveform away. It works well with the Grimstroke as well, like good kill potential. I wonder if Slark goes for this like Diffusal build blade this game, because I know mid one has historically liked it, but he might feel like he needs some like a little bit more tankiness instead. Like we've seen halberds from Slarks this tournament so far. He might even just go like SMY potentially. The Dark Pack's obviously really good up against the Bane as well, because it can be difficult to get Fiend scripts off. And I think Alliance needs something else to like lane up with the Phoenix here and protect the egg potentially. And it needs to be able to lane against the Slark relatively well too. And I'm not sure if there's a hero that does both.
Trying to think what they can go for. The Lina is still available. Would you want that if you're Alliance?
I think you want to give
lockdown, burst damage is always nice.
I think you want to give Limp last pick. They have last pick this draft, which they didn't before.
Oh, okay. Some more lockdown. Sand King gets picked up. We've seen some good Sand King games. Could be your Blink Initiator as time goes by, of course, or will be your Blink Initiator as time goes by, not if.
So that's a pretty solid pick, because we talked about they need something that protects the egg, but also lanes against Slark. And I didn't think there was anything that does both, but Sand King's probably your best bet. Because you have that stun to protect the egg, but also like you have the Sandstorm in the laning stage to at least kind of protect yourself. Like Caustic's a really good ability at the moment as well up against the Slark to try and pressure him in the laning stage. For you guys in chat that don't play a huge amount of Dota anymore, Caustic got changed. So that, do you remember how when Caustic, it used to explode all the time before? Like there used to be like a timer where after however many seconds it was, even if the creep didn't die, it would still do damage. But now you have to kill the creep for the Caustic to do damage. Because otherwise the Caustic effect just disappears without doing damage.
OG go to that Tiny that got banned in the previous game.
Yeah, that's pretty scary. I mean, it could be a 4, but I imagine it's going to be Thompson's mid hero. And I think
which means they're still looking for a 4-4 OG, which I could still see that being Windrunner, or like you said, even the Rubik.
The Rubik
both those heroes really look good.
The Rubik looks really good now because of the Sand King with the Burst Strike Steel as well. I think I'd be really surprised if they didn't ban it out in the last phase on Alliance.
Ban the Ancient Apparition. Good ban, you know. You need to make sure that you get rid of that hero with the Morphling on your team. But I think they've already got their set 5 for No-Tail. Like, it's been No-Tail on the Scrimstroke every single time.
I understand them banning the AA though. Like, they still need something that kind of deals with the morph in a way, right? Like, they have the instant burst from the Tiny when he gets Blink potentially, but like the AA makes it so much easier because then you have this Tiny running around the map with Blink, with Ice Blast being cast on top from the other side of the map. Everybody dies, like, to that combo of the Ice Blast Avalanche toss. And that's a great Timber ban. We've seen Limp play that this tournament so far, and he looked really good. And so because they've picked this Tiny now, they have 2 bans here to protect it in the mid lane. And Viper, Timber are probably the 2 that Tiny hates playing against the most. So, good choices here. I think if they don't ban Rubik, OG will pick it. So they need to decide here.
Yeah, I think if you ban the Rubik, they'll go Windrunner. If you don't, they're going Rubik. I really like it. I really like the Rubik pick. Like you said, the instant lift. There's also so much to steal here that I think what we've seen from Saxa so far in the Rubik, like, he'll just throw it back in and make you pay for it so badly. And
Rubik gets banned. I think they could pick something like Shadow Shaman potentially as well. Might be okay. Because it's kind of similar to the line, right, with the lockdown potential for the Morphling. And Saxa has played it before. I don't like it as much as the Lion this game, but it's still pretty good. I think Shaman and Wind Ranger would be the 2 that I would look at the most for Saxa here.
For Alliance, though, what are you thinking over mid? Is it worth getting Alina here, or are you looking towards something else?
Hang on, I've just realized they could pick Mirana as well, which is still pretty good against hitting the egg. For Alliance, I think Lena's probably the go-to, but they have a really squishy lineup then.
Okay.
Yeah, there's the Wind Ranger.
Which, you know, it was either going to be that or the Rubik, and once they banned the Rubik, it felt like it was pretty much the Windrunner.
Maybe something like DK might be okay. I feel like they lack a little bit of frontline here on Alliance. But it doesn't feel like a great DK game either. Like, Alina's probably the go-to for them.
What about Death Prophet?
It's banned. I don't... Okay, they do go DK.
True, and they do go DK.
But now my problem is, does Tiny, like... Does DK do okay against Tiny mid? It feels like they both just trade farm. And I think they're going to have this, like, issue again on Alliance where it gets to this 15-minute mark, and they have a little bit more damage than last time. But I think Thompson's going to get blinked this game and just start running at them. And I think
you're a little bit more sustainable this time, though. Like, I think DK is way tankier. You have some better initiation. I think if the laning phase goes as bad as it did in the first game, like, I think, yeah, it's going to be rough. But I think any lineup that loses that laning phase the way they did in the first game, it's going to be rough. I think here they have a lot more of ways to just kind of have a better time, at least.
Their lineup's definitely better than last game on Alliance. I just worry that, like, this is what I'm saying, when Tiny gets Blink and he has Avalanche and Toss level 4, and there's a Grimstroke paired up with him with Inkswell, he's going to blink in, have Inkswell on him, Avalanche toss somebody, the Inkswell explodes, and then they die. I think every single one of these heroes, including the DK, has to be so careful of that. So I'm expecting braces all round from Alliance. Some early stat items, possibly like a hood on the Sand King, potentially.
Yeah.
Their laning stage looks a bit stronger though on Alliance this time, which is good. Like this Sand King Phoenix should be able to pressure the Slark pretty well. Like Morphling Bane's a relatively good laner too. And mid lane looks like it should trade pretty evenly between the DK and the Tiny. So as long as Alliance don't fall too far behind, they should be okay. I think they just have to worry about this timing that OG are going to hit after the laning stage is finished.
I definitely like Alliance's lineup better this time. Not better than OG's, but better overall. Like, it just felt like such a lackluster lineup in the previous game. So I'm hoping that they come out a little bit better. Obviously, we both want to see game 3.
Yes.
And I really do think they're skilled enough to make it happen. I don't think that obviously the last game is going to affect them mentally, but I don't know. I think there's certainly a lot better opportunity with this lineup to make something happen.
Prepare
I'm going to
for
say the
battle.
same about Fly to Moon yesterday. When Fly to Moon got beaten in Game 1 by OG really hard, I said that if Fly to Moon lost Game 2 in the same kind of way, they would be so disappointed. They go out of the tournament losing 2 games in a row that badly. Like, if Alliance lose this game against OG, but they play a good game, they do the best they can, then, what else can you say to them? Because at least they've given it a go, at least they would have played well, at least they don't get stomped and rolled over in, 2 games straight away. But they'll feel really bad if it happens the same way that it did last game, and that's just their tournament done. So hopefully we get a good game, and even if they lose, that's all we can ask for.
Really hope that we get ourselves to a game 3, but you take a look, Nico Baby bottom already in trouble, but they get the kill on Asaxa, so first blood already here for Alliance.
This
And
Bane's
might
going to
even
have...
get more, Seb. Trying to
He's
get
gonna
run
have
down
Fiends
here,
get- Fiends get Brain
FNG
Sap.
has Brain Sap in just a second. Oh, Breathe Fire, not going to be enough. And you just can't get the kill on a Seb.
I wonder if Seb walks back to base here, if he gets salved up by No Tail on this
The
Grimstroke.
battle begins.
Looks like he's walking back to base. And they gotta get 4 bounty runes on Alliance.
This is the start that they needed.
Oh, wow. So they get First Blood, they get 4 bounty runes. And the best bit about the First Blood as well is it went to Limp on this DK. So this mid laner is going to get an amazing start.
This shouldn't be terrible against Thompson, though, on this Tiny. I think Limp should just be a lot more secure here in just getting his own farm than he was in Game 1. That was very tough for him.
Yeah, for sure. But this is the thing. You can't really pressure the DK out of lane. He's going to get farm. Thompson should just get farm as well. And then it's all going to be about the rotations both these heroes make. Especially if Thompson on this Tiny decides to try and make an early move. Limp with this DK, when he hits level 6, can start to push the tower really quickly.
Yeah. So 4-2 to the 4-1. It was a lot more denies previously, but there with the toss, Thompson does get a deny onto the range creep.
No.
No Tail on mid 1 up towards top. Mid 1 continuing to farm pretty much uncontested. He's sitting 5-2, but Nico Baby, he's 6-0. So, both carries having a good time so far. Seb's come back into the lane. He's got himself a salve. He's sitting about half health. So we saw him get pushed all the way back. Goes down to half health once again, and we'll see if Alliance can take advantage of this. FNG level 2 goes to the Enfeeble. So that's what we were talking about. Brain Sap through, Enfeeble onto Seb. And he pops that salve. So now he's out of regen.
Yeah, the only lane that's struggling a little bit at the moment for Alliance is this top lane. And you'll see OG have done exactly the same thing as they've done so far this tournament. In the sense that they don't want to let this Sanking Phoenix get level 2 first before they do on their pair. So they push the lane in really hard and then they try and pull the small camp. Unfortunately, No-Tail seems to have missed the pull. So not all gone to a plan for OG here, but definitely not looking too bad for them.
So mid 1 is sitting at 8-3. He's not having the absolute domination that I think Nico Baby's having over towards bottom, 15-1.
No, it's the Bane effect, isn't it?
Yeah.
This hero's so good at just securing lanes. This is what the Undying was supposed to do last game. But Bane seems to be doing a little bit better of a job.
Dire's courier.
Hansen gets the courier.
Take out No-Tail's courier, then over mid. Limp having a much better time. I mean, this is compared to last game. It must feel like he's actually playing Dota.
Yes.
I mean, I get to actually play some Dota here this time for Limp. I'm not getting beat at level 3. Actually actually surviving.
I mean, that's
17 and 6.
That's what DK's so good at, right? That no matter the matchup, or like nearly all of them, DK's at least going to get something from the lane. Like, you tend to just trade farm in almost every single matchup. Like, leaners, pucks, whatever.
This is exactly what we wanted to see from Alliance. We would have rather hoped to see them, you know, come back, get ourselves a 1-1, get the full 3-game series. And so far, they're holding true to that, up 1,000 net worth, strictly farming. And of course, had that first blood, but Aang swelled, 2-man stun. Mid one looks over Hanskin. He'll Icarus dive away. S4 takes a couple of shots as he retreats by the tier 1 tower.
S4 actually has no regen as well. And there's a big wave coming in here that he might not be able to contest.
So is Limp immediately looking to rotate once he hits that level 6?
No. Limp just wants to keep farming. Like, why would he need to rotate this game, right? Like, his bot lane's going really well. It's up to him to, like, let Tiny make the first rotation and then just, like, hit his tower.
Yeah. So let him leave, take the tier 1 tower, close the map, and work from there, basically.
We might even see Hanskin on this Phoenix come now because of this, like, 5-minute catapult wave mid. Because if you come at the same time that Limp's about to hit level 6 here, they can really put some pressure on this Tiny.
Pounce leashes up. Hanskin is in trouble, but again has the Icarus dive. So he stays out of the hands of mid one unable to get the kill, and continuing to just farm up is the side of Alliance, and they still lead by about 1,000 net worth. Early Morbid Mask for Morphling. What's Nico Baby's net worth right now? 2,302. Also Limp, 2,600 net worth. Having such a good time over mid.
And here's this rotation we talked about.
Form, FNG coming in. Brain Sap. Now the Enfeeble's out, but the Avalanche toss on FNG just needs one more shot to get the kill to breathe fire. Ooh, survives and ends up going down on tops in FNG. 30 health.
Limp came in and stood next to the Tiny so that the tree throw hit him instead of the Bane. I'm pretty sure. And now with this catapult wave, they're going to do so much damage to this mid-tier 1.
No tail, top, he goes down, Inkswell pops, hits onto S4. S4 is burrow struck in just a second, mid one in a lot of trouble. But Pounce gets away under the tier 1 tower, survives. However, over mid, we see the pressure coming through onto the tier 1 with the catapult here, and Limp still in the Elder Dragon form. Put some damage on the Topson, backs him up for a second, now level 7. Topson is,
This tower's gonna die. Like, Sax is coming over, but I think he's too late. This laning stage has gone so well for Alliance.
Yeah. Topson's basically experiencing what Limp did in the first game. Not as devastating, but close.
This tower's about to die here.
Avalanche. The toss, Limp gets the tower. They're gonna rotate, they'll bring mid one in, Pounce leashes. They might get the kill on a DK, body blocks from Topson.
Toss in 2 seconds.
Toss in 2 seconds, getting under the tower, nobody rotating. There's the toss, Dark Pack, one more shot gets the kill. I think if anybody rotates earlier, they probably get Topson. Nico Baby, he comes in, but he's not gonna find
Yes, one for mana.
Topson just yet. Waveform, can he catch him? Spirit's hitting. Maybe trying to bait him with the courier there.
S4.
Oh, FNG.
Okay.
Gets the brain sap, gets the kill.
I wondered why S4 wasn't coming over there, but FNG manages to just sneak round behind and finish the kill instead.
So after making the rotation towards mid, Nico Baby doesn't get the kill on the Topson, but they're just going to swap the lanes up. So they'll send S4 towards bottom. He'll farm up against Seb. You've got Nico Baby farming top. A 2,000 net worth lead for the side of Alliance, and Limp having a much better time. I know we're reiterating it quite a bit, but if you were here game 1, you saw how he just didn't get to play the game at all.
The one thing I will say, though, with this morphling rotation to the mid lane, it means Seb on this Magnus was able to farm bot for a little bit at least. So even though it wasn't great for OG overall, they still got, you know, a little something in return.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
S4 losing his courier there. Seb just behind the tower, and now they've got the Nightmare. Limp coming over. Seb's in trouble. He's got RP. Mid one. He's also showing up. I don't think he's going to get the RP off. Seb, he'll end up dead. They look over at mid one, pounce to get some distance, and they take out the Magnus and are moving around the map beautifully.
That's an Arcane Rune DK as well, so that when it runs out, it's hardly going to have any downtime at all. And if you remember I talked to you about this magic burst potential coming from the Tiny and like the Grimshake and whatnot, interestingly, Limp actually went for an early cloak on the DK just to sustain himself. So now not only is he really tanky with the Dragon's Blood, but this cloak is going to make him have so much effective HP in these early stages of the game.
Four-man shield, Faded Brooch. Ooh. Nightmare on Asaxa. They've got 4 heroes down here for the side of OG. They're looking to play this aggressively. They've got the vision, though, with this Observer Ward. That's going to spot out, I believe, all 4 of them.
They ping it, and they know because of the Slark vision, right? With the Shadow Dance, that there's going to a ward just drop there.
Yeah. Drop down the sentry, clean up the vision. But they do back a couple of these heroes up. By the way, they're just letting Nico Baby top do whatever he wants. Take a look over mid, Limp, moving over towards Thompson with Hanskin nearby. Nobody else coming through, actually, towards bottom. Look at where No Tail and mid one are. Pounce, leashes with the Inkswell. They've got the silence onto the Bane. But S4, he's here to protect his support. And they won't commit any further than the Pounce as well as the Inkswell. Meanwhile, though, Avalanche as well as the Toss gets into Hanskin. They'll get the kill on a Phoenix as Thompson coming through the jungle to get that kill and grab the Bounty Rune.
Yeah, see, this play reminds me of True Sight. We remember when Thompson used to just run through the jungle and just start killing people one by one in the TI final last time. It's just, I feel like I'm watching an action replay here. But I mean, much better game from Alliance so far. Like, this laning stage has gone so well. Nico Baby's had an absolutely free game here, and he's going to go for this E-Blade now straight away. And if you look at OG's lineup, like, this Grimshake and Wind Ranger will just die from 100 to 0 with the E-Blade into shotgun. With the adaptive strike.
Royal Jelly picked up for Alliance. Put on the DK and put on the Morphling. I don't know if DK definitely needed that. They could have done like Sand King Morphling with it.
He probably doesn't, but like it's still nice on him. DK does have some mana issues.
Early Arcane Ring could pass that over to the SK.
Who did they give the Faded Brooch to? Are they giving it to the Sand King or something? Is it just in base?
And the only one holding a neutral item
Why
right now.
there's just a Faded Brooch in base. Like, what?
So over towards top, Limp and Nico Baby will be here. Elder Dragon form is popped. Well, they rotate to try and defend this. They've got 4 heroes towards mid, and No Tail just camped towards bottom. So
the big thing for OG now this game is that they have this big ancient stack on the bottom half of the map here that they need to just try and take here and protect. Because if they don't, if Alliance come in and take this, they're going to be like in such a massive position this game.
Yeah. And I don't think they're wise to it yet. I don't think they know it's there.
Yeah, the Slark needs the recovery ancient farm really badly here.
Limp very close to this Blink Dagger. I believe the Blink Dagger was picked up for S4. Yeah, so they're going to have 2 initiators ready to go with their Blink Daggers. You've got Morphling, who is closing in on the E-Blade. He's still quite a ways out from that Eagle song, but it's still going so well. Nico Baby's just had an open game up to this point.
For Alliance, though, it's not just the blink on the Sand King. Limp's picked up his blink as well. So there's like a massive timing here where, especially if they smoke on Alliance, they could take them by surprise. Like, they've just taken the ancient stack, though, and this is what I'm talking about. Like, they're a little bit too slow, unfortunately. And now mid one on the Slark is getting this big boost in net worth. And now all of a sudden the lead's down to 1k. Like, OG are finding their way back into this game here with these stacks that they're taking.
Center charged up. Blink Dragon Tail comes in. Mid one in trouble. The Burrow Strike hits. They get the kill on the Sark. Now they look over at No Tail. Inkswell on himself. But there's the Fiend's Grip, and he can't get any further. He'll end up falling. Kill goes for FNG. 2 kills for the side of Alliance. and they show off those blink daggers. I believe, both of them getting debuted right there without the knowledge that OG knowing that they had them. So Seb, he gets it with the Burrow Strike. S4 moving forward. He's within the Sandstorm, not going to continue to chase. He doesn't have a lot of mana just at the moment. RP committed on S4. Here's the Shackle, power shot, everything get thrown at S4 for his aggression. So they get the kill into the Sand King, maybe a little bit too far forward. They're going to TP towards bottom to try and save the tier 1. Sox is here, limp within the Elder Dragon form, and rotation starting to come out from OG. Mid one moving forward with Soxa. Shackle does land, but mid one a little bit too far behind. I don't know if he's going to catch with a pounce or anything, so just a little bit too slow. Ends up farming the wave and allows him to get back.
Thank you.
But this is fine for Alliance, I think. Nico Baby's still just farming top, being untouched.
And look at this mid lane though. Invis tiny. I think Hansky might be in a bit of trouble.
Avalanche toss, and you're dead before you hit the ground.
Remember this rubbish lane that Thompson had mid?
Top of the net worth now.
Yeah, like, Nico Baby had a free lane. I mean, Thompson's been farming so efficiently with his Avalanche and Toss, and with this Empower as well. He's farming up an absolute storm, and he's actually not going for a blink. I think because he has this Magnus on his team, he realizes, like, his damage output is going to be really important this game. So just going to go for this kind of, like, roaming build instead with the Shadow Blade. Obviously, if he needs to build a Silver Edge at some point in this game against the DK, he can. So they're not going to be quite so reliant on the Slark damage here.
Every coin helps.
My waters rise.
1,000 gold away.
He's actually going Manta on the Slark. I'm surprised. Oh, no tell.
Soulbind as well as the Phantom's Embrace, so he gets the silence out onto 2. Inkswell pops, so both of them will be stunned up. S4 is right here to convert the kill if need be. Until on the run, Brain Sap to finish off the Grimstroke. So another kill there for Alliance as they lead 8-4. The lead is only 1,000, and they're moving over to go and get Nico Baby.
RP's up in 10 seconds here. How do they approach this? Shackle's coming over with Saxa.
400 gold until he had the Eagle Song. They've got themselves the Shockwave into this Shackle shot. And, ooh, I don't know if they needed RP there. Avalanche Toss seemed to be enough. They get the kill on a Nico Baby regardless. Thompson dominating, and that pushes him back on the Eagle Song a bit. But now we take a look over bottom. Mid one, he's in the Shadow Dance. Are back on the run. Inkswell gets out with the pounce. They can't control the Slark enough. So they get the kill onto the Morphling over top. They keep the Slark alive bottom. And OG starting to sustain the tides. No
this tier 1 top just died.
Burrow Strike gets the kill. Limp with another.
This tier 1 top just dies in like 5 hits to the tiny Empower with the tree grab. I mean, that's insane. But yeah, big kill on the Morph, and the fact that the Slark survives in the bot lane is huge for OG. You know, he has this Yasha now as well, so he's just going to be able to keep farming here. But nice pickup from Alliance onto No-Tail, but if anybody's going to die, OG will be happy with that one. How close is Tiny to the Shadow Blade? Oh, he's almost there.
DK. Yeah, he's almost there.
Because of this Echo Saber that he built before, he can just rush the Silver Edge.
Over mid, Sox in trouble. Sunray on him, burning him out. Gets the kill. Mid one, he rotates in. They've got Tiny right here. S4 in some trouble. The Avalanche comes through. He's got Burrow Strike up again. Good Nightmare locking down Thompson to allow them to retreat.
That was cute. Mid one Dark Packs and just hits the Tiny to take the Nightmare off.
So 3,000 gold. Courier going to the secret shop. We'll pick up the Eagle Song for Nico Baby. He'll have the E-Blade, at which point we'll see him join these fights potentially.
Okay, so they have the E-Blade on the Morphling, but they also have the Blink on the Mag for OG. So it's all going to be about now who can get the initiation in the first place, right? Because if they get a Blink RP onto like possibly like maybe even 2, or if they just Blink RP the Morph, then they have really good kill potential. But if Morphling can shotgun down somebody straight away, like one of the supports in Saxa, then they take the fight 4 versus 5 straight away. So the vision and the smokes are going to be really important now. OG going to be looking to take the lead here with theirs.
Convincing victories.
S4 kind of smells that something might be up.
Yeah, really well positioned within the trees. Breaks the smoke, has the Observer Ward, spots Seb. S4 Who will get spotted, dusted up. Avalanche comes in as well as the toss. They don't get the kill just yet. Now the Inkswell will pop. They'll finally finish off S4, but look at mid one. He's taking a lot of damage. He ends up getting used, but it's a full-on whiff. Seb in some trouble. Good skewer. I believe that was
cancels the grip.
Looking at Icarus dive. They've got themselves the Supernova, and now OG are in a lot of trouble. Topson on the run. No tail dies. So does Seb. Can they get this tiny out? Topson invis for the moment with this Shadow Blade, and Nico Baby trying to search for him. It's a 2-for-1. They took out S4, but they lose Seb and No Tail. The RP not on point in this one.
Yeah, I have no idea what cancelled his blink there, but if he'd have got the RP onto the Morph and the DK, that fight's completely different, right? But unfortunately, it might have been a Fire Spirit or something. I don't know.
Dire's top tower is under
A huge fight for Alliance. That could have been an absolute disaster for them, especially with the Sand King dying relatively early, but they find a way of turning it around, even without the Fiend Script being cast at all because of the skewer from Seb.
It looked like Hanskin was looking for a better position for that Supernova, and it actually ended up in a fine position after he got hit, I think during his Icarus dive with the skewer. So Nico Baby goes back to continue farming, going into the Sanji and Yasha. Got the Heaven's Halberd finished off for the DK, BKB next for him, and then S4 going into the Yules as he's picked up this Veil.
Yeah, the Manta coming out from mid one. I honestly thought he was going to go BKB this game. Like, the Manta's okay, but
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I feel like the BKB just allows them to fight, even if he doesn't do a huge amount of damage. So maybe they feel like they just want to keep this game alive. They want to keep scaling going into the late game. Because they feel like they can win this if the game goes later on. With their 2 cores and the Tiny and the Slug. Epi coming.
Epi. Burrow strike, mid one in trouble. Dragon Tail with the E-Blade blown up. Down goes mid one, and he's gone for 40 seconds. This opens up the Roche pit for Alliance.
He has no buyback either. This is... Yeah.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
This is not good for OG. But if they can get this Aegis on Limp, on Nico Baby, this is going to be huge, because this burst damage from the Tiny, which he's been worried about all game, which means he has to sit on higher strength, it's not going to be like a problem anymore, because he knows he has this second life to play with. So he can be so much more aggressive.
Bottom tower is under attack. Roshan has fallen to the Radiant.
That's
TPs towards bottom, wanting to defend this tier 1 tower. They've got the Aegis now on Nico Baby. That's massive.
Yeah, I feel like if they win this game, Alliance, they'll look back at that moment and think, okay, this was such a big turning point for us.
Are scanning.
OG scan behind the tier 1. And they see the TPs coming in, so they're just going to get out of that. Are they going to potentially smoke for this? Okay.
They now need to look to go somewhere, but they know that Alliance has set up bottom.
They want Nico Baby on this Morphling by the looks of it. But they're just going to miss him. They think he's farming this top side of the map, which he was, but they're just slightly too slow. So by now, Nico Baby's started to head down towards bot to farm with the rest of his team, or at least within touching distance. And the smoke's going to whiff.
On the Wild Limp continuing to farm up towards bottom, they will push out this lane as well.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Sages certainly gives Alliance some time to continue to farm, get these next items out there. BKB for DK, and like I said, the SNY for the Morphling.
They could really do with this blink on Saxa, I think, on the Wind Ranger, because they struggle to get into fights at the moment. Obviously, you have Blink RP, but you don't want that to be your main source of initiation. Like, you want Saxa to go in first, and then this RP to be some form of counter-initiation.
Radiant's top tower.
Yeah, Nico Baby with the DD, just going to start slapping the tower.
Bottom. Now look over at DK, Inkswell, not going to land. Fiend's Grip now out on a Topson. They've got the control. Seb coming over. He does have RP available, but won't go to save his mid. Topson ends up dead. 4 times reaching out for Nico Baby. They're going to grab the tier 2 tower. They might even look for something more. Let's see if they pressure and go into the high ground.
I think they can kind of tap away at it a little bit here, at least trying to force them all to come back, especially this Slug.
Oh, Jesus! No Tail getting shotgunned down.
Nice Shackle.
In his own base.
They have Blink Skewer here for Limp if they feel like they can get something.
Oh. Not putting it together properly. And now Nico Baby looks for the shackle, lands it. Min One's in a little bit of trouble. The Sunrays on him with the E-Blade. They'll pop this Slark. Did for 50 seconds. He has buyback. Right now hits on a Seb. They'll buyback on Mid One. And now they really need to make something happen, but they're going to lose this mag, and they don't have buyback on Seb. So now your RP is out of the picture, and it looks like OG's opportunity to save this tier 3 is out of the picture. Waveform forward once again. They've got themselves the
Great shackle, though.
No tail, but they've got the shackle onto the morphing as well as the DK. But the Burrow Strike from S4, that's going to save them both. Now, into the Shadow Dance, Mid One trying to retreat, but they look over at Topson. He gets it with the Adaptive Strike, the Icarus dive over from Hansky, and the damage is out onto this Morphling, but he does have the Aegis. They get the kill on a Topson, they'll take out the Tiny, they look over as now the Burrow Strike hits on Saksa. Down goes Windrunner, Mid One running back, 4 Euros gone on the side of OG. They take the bottom tier 3 and will look towards the set of racks.
Alliance are just straight about playing them here. Like, they're finding +1s all the time. Nico Baby turns into the Morphling as well, gets the Shackle, turns into the Wind Ranger, gets the Shackle. And Seb, he couldn't save his Slark who got gone on with the Shackle because he used his Blink to go for that skewer play. So there's no RP that can come out to protect the Slark, and as soon as he dies there, like, Alliance just keep finding the +1s. They get No Tails dieback. They find Topson as well.
Set of racks down bottom, tier 2 over mid. Now all of a sudden it's a 12k lead, and it really looks bad for OG. They bought back on Mid One, and it really just didn't turn into anything.
And it feels like without the Slark BKB, they just have no capability to take fights on OG. It's so difficult for him to commit in. Like, he wouldn't have saved his deaths because they've been, like, instant initiations. But even so, like, they can't force anything. Because they really struggle to get this instant initiation into the
on a
fights.
2. And they've got the Soulbind to follow it up. Seb, though, holding the RP, finally throws it out, goes onto the Bane as well as the DK. They've got themselves the E-Blade, hits on a Mid One. He's getting low, it goes into the Shadow Dance. Now looking over at Hansky, the pounce isn't going to land with the Icarus dive over. Now the Shackle comes through, he's got Supernova in just a second, won't come up in time. He ends up dead. Waveform forward from Nico Baby, Epicenter as well as the Burrow Strike coming through. They get the Kona Saksa. They lose Limp. On the backlines, FNG hit with the Ink Swirl. Topson's got himself a triple kill, and now Nico Baby moving forward. He's got himself the E-Blade as well as the Icarus dive. Waveform finishes off Topson. They get the kill on the Tiny. He's dead for 60 seconds. He does have buyback, but now Burrow Strike hitting onto these heroes on the side of OG. Continuing to move forward. There was Nico Baby looking over at No Tail with the E-Blade coming in again, or is that
just Morphling left? No Aegis.
They've got the Waveform. They'll get the kill on No Tail, and it's just Nico Baby alive, surrounded by 3. Can he fight this? Power Shot comes in, and they disarm Mid One. Skewer comes through. Nico Baby surviving, goes into the Windrunner form. As he morphed into him, Shackle doesn't connect on a Seb. I thought maybe that would, but he's got the Waveform back and has the distance to get away from OG. However, OG, will they go under the tier 1 tower? They'll at least take the tower after the glyph.
Well, that could have been an absolute disaster for Alliance because the Aegis ran out there just as the rest of his team died. But, I mean, good fight for OG, but again, like, they've still lost a set of racks from this, right? So overall, like, in the whole moment of the game, it's still not looking great for them, but at least they managed to finally take a good fight because without Slark dying there, he's so close to his BKB now. So he's going to feel a lot stronger when he picks that up and gets that online. And Tiny's getting relatively close to his as well, still about, 1,500 gold away or so. And when the BKBs come out, like if you look at Alliance's lineup, it's so much magic damage. So they just need to try and get to this point now on OG. But I think if you're Alliance, you just look for more straight away. Like, you have to try and fight now before they get their BKBs up. At least on, like, all 3 cores.
That fight cut net worth lead down from 12k to 9k. Spider Legs for the Tiny. Does he keep Spider Legs? Yeah, he might. And he will. He's set up towards top for Alliance. They'll go for the tier 2 tower. Creeps pushing in. But OG looking like they're going to make the rotation and go for this. BKB's up on the Slark. BKB still weighs out for the Tiny, though. Scotty finished off for the Morph. Seb with the Invis rune. Nico Baby. Shadow Blade, Blink, Dragon Tail, that comes in, but they've got themselves the Shackle on Limp. Limp, very tanky, No Tail, already dead on Nico Baby. They got the BKB pop high Mid One, and can this set up for anything for the side of OG? The Fiend's Grip is out on the tops, and he's locked down back and away from his entire team, so they'll get the kill onto the Tiny. They'll take it a second. He's got buyback, 65 seconds, dead. Now Alliance grabbing themselves 2, and the BKB, well, from Mid One, doesn't really find them anything.
Look at the sentries that Alliance put down behind them because they knew Thompson was going to want to get the entry onto the backline with the two supports and the Phoenix and the Bane. So they cover themselves with these sentries and they punish him so hard with the Fiend script. Great play by FNG.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Forward to the tier 3, up towards top. One blinking forward behind the racks, and we'll lose this Elder Dragon form. Shackle comes in, doesn't connect. Dragon Tail, Dark Pacting it off immediately. Buyback from Thompson.
There's no BKB on Slark though. 10 seconds.
Disarm onto the Slark. 10 seconds till they have the BKB. They've got the RP on a multiple hero. Skewer comes in. Now they've got the Soulbind. That was a Skewer on a 3. Can they get anything out of this? Waveform over. FNG, he ends up dead. BKB's been popped by Limp. They look over as they get the kill on S4 as well. So 2 heroes gone on the side of Alliance. They've got themselves the Phantom's Embrace on a Nico Baby. Nico Baby goes into the tiny form. Mid one moving forward. Mid one now has the BKB. So he's going to turn his attention over to Nico Baby, who uses the Waveform, gets the kill on a Soxa, finds himself a kill on a No Tail. So the supports are gone, and so is Thompson, Seb, and Mid one. Can they get anything to save the game? Doesn't look like it. Dragon Tail coming in from Limp, looking over at Mid one, gets the kill. Ultra kill for Nico Baby. Is he gonna dive into the base to get this Rampage? Skewer back, Waveform away, Hanskin here. And he's just standing, taunting, dropping his items right in front of Seb. There's the E-Blade, there's the Rampage Alliance. They clean up everybody. Nico Baby finds himself a Rampage. They don't call GG just yet on OG, but Alliance will go for the tier 4s.
Yeah, he gets the deaths on Nico Baby. I don't think they're going to be up in time here on OG. I think this is the bitter end, unfortunately, for them. But what a game. I mean, Seb's going to buy back here. He doesn't have RP, though, for 60.
Blink Skewer, can't find it. And Alliance, they will clean up and finish off the game 2 and push us to a full 3-game series.
What a game, though, by Alliance. Like, how much better did they look this game than the first game overall? Like, that was incredible.
Oh, for sure.
I think Limp, especially, being able to play Dota this game actually helped them a lot. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I think the fact he got first blood allowed his laning stage to go so much better than it could have as well. Like, normally, I think this DK trades relatively even against the Tiny, but because of this nice early starts that he gets in the lane with the Bracer build-up, like, he can pull us slightly ahead of the Tiny in comparison. So, really well played. And I think the biggest thing for me this game is Undying was supposed to win the lane for them last time. Bane was supposed to win the lane for them this time. Nico Baby found a lot better this game. So I think this Bane is going to go up in a little bit of priority here, ready for game 3.
They never really contested Nico Baby. He moved around the map. I really liked when, he made that swap with S4, went towards the top lane, and then basically played a free game. Nobody came over towards top, took that tower very quickly, continued to farm, had that E-Blade at a pretty respectable time, despite the fact that he died up towards top. Really didn't take too much gold away from him, cleaned up and got the E-Blade, and from there it really seemed like it was more so one-sided for Alliance from that point.
I think there were some big moments this game because it was really close for a long time, right? Like, we have to remember that Alliance, although they came out really far in front by the end of the game, there was a couple of key points where, like, do you remember the OG Smoke, like, didn't find the Morphling? They were just slightly too late while he was trying to farm and stuff. And then they kind of got picked off one by one in a space of about 5 minutes for OG. And Alliance just completely tore them apart. Like, they punished them really hard, and their map movements on Alliance this game was so much better. But, yeah, really excited for Game 3 now, because we've had 2 really good games, especially that second one as well. So, I am pumped.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I can't wait. I'm glad we got the full 3-game set. So, it'll be Alliance OG, win and go to the grand finals, lose, and you're out of here. So, we'll be back with Game 3 in just a moment. Stay right there. We'll be right back.
structures are fortified. Radiant's courier has been killed. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack.
I trust my end.
Tower is under attack.
Anywhere.
Dire's Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
All right, and welcome back here. More Dota Pit OGA, Dota Pit action for you, EU CIS. It's the last game that we get to do for this event. Got you guys a little bit of a surprise. Look at that.
Wow.
Look at this. Now on to the game. OG Alliance Game 3. OG really dismantling Alliance Game 1. And then Alliance Game 2 coming back and putting it right back on to OG. And it looked very one-sided for the most of it. They gave Nico Baby a better time with Bane being played there by FNG. He opened up the lane for Nico Baby quite a bit. And things got went a lot better, especially because Limp got to play some Dota. So, we'll see what we get here in Game 3 between these two teams. Immediately in with the Invoker ban. And now the Veno ban. And like you said, these OG first bans have been a lot more general than the Alliance bans, where they're directed at like specifically shutting down Topson with the Invoker and shutting down mid one with a couple of those other bans.
So, something we should talk about here before the draft really starts kicking off. OG won the coin flip here for Game 3, so they get last pick overall in the draft. But also, because they have second pick, it means they have the overall last pick of the first phase as well, which we saw from Alliance was really key last game. They picked up that Morphling, and it felt like it didn't really get countered or dealt with in the draft because they had these 3 bans to be able to take out what OG could have potentially picked that was good against the Morphling, right? And I think second pick is so strong at the moment. I don't know what the stats are. I don't know what the breakdown is, but it wouldn't surprise me to see second pick doing pretty well here, because a lot of the times we see these teams in lobby and they get priority, nearly all of them are choosing second pick.
So Phoenix comes out for Alliance. We saw them use that Phoenix for Hanskin very well in Game 2. It was on OG for Game 1, on Alliance for Game 2, and I think the Phoenix overall has just been a stellar pick. And now from there, they'll go into the Magnus immediately. So 3 games played, 3 games Magnus for OG. Do you think that should have been the second ban here for Alliance instead of this Wisp?
No.
Okay.
Anybody who saw mid one play Carry Wisp the other day will understand why Alliance have banned that one. I think that was so scary to play against. And the thing is, it doesn't even have to be a position 1. Like, I'm sure they could play it as a support if they wanted to as well. Like, Notel's played with the hero a lot in the past.
Whoa. Early Void pick coming in for Alliance. So we've seen that this, this has been a hero banned out in the second phase, I think, just about every game. So this is something that we saw in the Chinese region where you need to pick your 1 position early if you're not getting it. And now you have the 3 bans to protect it.
Because the thing is, as well, it's not just the Void pick that's good with itself. They have the Phoenix to pair it with as well. So now, with this opening 2, they have really good team fight to work around. Both teams do, because, OG have this RP to work with as well. So it'll be interesting to see here what OG decide to pick up with the Magnus. I actually think this line might go up in priority for them because they see the Void.
Ooh.
And they go for the Jug. Okay.
They go Jug early on.
I mean, the thing is, if they don't pick the Jug here, then it's going to get banned second phase, like you were saying. So it's really important for them that they take it here at this point, because not only is it good as a hero overall with Magnus, it's an egg hitter. Like, you spin, you run in, you try and destroy the egg really quickly. Obviously, there's the chrono to worry about as well, but you can't, hero prioritize for that. Like, they're going to chrono an egg, and no hero is going to stop that from happening. So they pick what they're comfortable with on OG. I think this is really strong. And we saw the power of the healing ward in Game 1 as well. I think it's such an underrated aspect of that hero.
So let's see what is going to be next here for them as these bans will be coming through.
Yeah, we saw the Saxa Wyvern yesterday. Really good counter initiation against these heroes like Magnus and Void. So, I think
especially we saw it. What game was it that we saw it? Like the Chronosphere immediately into the Winter's Curse, and you just don't get to do anything. You're almost forced to retreat.
Mm-hmm. Especially because even if Void builds BKB, and he tries to chrono somebody, the curse is going to go through that anyway. Like, it doesn't make a difference. It's so hard for Void to itemize for that. You have to have someone else that jumps the Wyvern at the same time. And I'm not surprised to see OG ban out the Bane. We talked about how much work that hero did last game. They even banned out the Undying in the first phase again, like before, which I'm surprised about because I thought the Bane looked so strong. I thought they would have swapped them around in priority.
And the Grimstroke. So now No-Tail's going to be on something different.
Yeah, nice to see. As much as I love seeing them play the Grimstroke, I think it's always cool to see people play different heroes. I don't want to see people play the same of the 3 heroes in a row. Unfortunately, Seb's going to get mag for 3 games, but that's the way it is, unfortunately. So what supports are they going to be looking at for OG? I mean, it's things like Lena and Wind Ranger are still in the pool. They're going to want a bit of lockdown for this Void, and I still think this Lion is looking pretty juicy for them.
I'm trying to look at what else No-Tail has played during the event, if it's just being Grimstroke every single time. But I think their first game against Viking GG, he was on Undying, I believe, both times.
I think something like Lich and Oracle looks really good for me here. The Lich is kind of a pseudo save in the chrono with the Frost Shield. It blocks a lot of the damage that comes out from the Void, and it also works really well with the Jug in lane. Now you have the Frost Shield spin combination. So that's a potential. But yeah, I also think Oracle is just really good. That is the hard save for the Chrono, right? And we've seen a lot of good Oracle performances so far this tournament. So I think they need to pick their poison here on Alliance. See what they decide to let through. They're taking their time with this one. They're probably going to be thinking about banning another limp hero here on OG, I would imagine. Or something that lanes well up against the Jug, potentially. I don't think they'll be bothered about this Weaver that we saw in Game 1. But maybe something like a Nature's Prophet might be annoying for them to deal with.
Ooh, I like the Enchantress ban. We were talking about Enchantress and, you know, how strong it's been. We've seen a couple of times where Enchantress has just kind of been, like, shut down in lane. But I think, you know, overall, it's a good 5 position to get out of there. And it's interesting that we see so many supports focused in the bans of Alliance. I mean, it feels like we've just been seeing one position's banned in the second phase constantly.
But this is what happens when you're opening with Mag Jug, right? Like, they don't need to ban anything except supports. Unless they feel like there's a Thompson hero that they really don't want to play against. But, you know, they banned out the Invoker in the first phase, which is the one that everybody's been seeing a lot of him on this tournament. I think it's much easier to ban out these supports here. And I don't mind the Grimstroke ban either, because it's also really good up against the Void. Because if he ever gets soulbound up, it stops him from jumping away with the Time Walk. Like, but I'm surprised to see them ban the Ench. I know it's a really good lane with the Jug. Like, you have a lot of kill potential with the creep that comes in with the spin. But I think OG are going to prioritize some kind of save for the Chronosphere.
Mm-hmm. Ban the Beastmaster. We saw that getting picked up a little bit more earlier in the event.
Yeah, the attack speed aura works really well with the Void. Like, they can hit some timing there. Where if they ever win a team fight with the Egg Chrono, they take towers so quickly. And the BKB
I think the one team we saw it wasn't that great. Or like the few times we saw it wasn't exactly like the most amazing pick, the Beastmaster.
I don't think that
was playing from behind.
I don't think that was the Beastmaster's fault, though, in a hero by himself. Like, the BKB piercing Roar is really good against the Jug spin as well. Mm-hmm. So I don't mind it too much. I think it's fine. The 3 I am looking at here are Lich, Oracle, and Lion. Or possibly Wind Ranger as well, if they really want to go for that. But I think there's better choices.
Ooh. So Venge gets picked up with that Jug combination that we've been seeing quite a bit. Now you've got the swap save. You have another stun to come into the mix. Or really your first stun to come into the mix. Obviously you've got RP, but that is heavily relying on just your ult. And there's the Jakiro coming through for Alliance. This is a support that I've been very adamant about. One that really, to me at least, I love seeing the follow-up. When you've got someone who, will hold the Euls for you, get a stun for you, and then is followed up with an Ice Path, and really does quite a bit of a job over in the lane with Dual Breath as well.
This was my problem with the Jakiro pick, because I think it opens up this Rubik pick. And if you ever steal Ice Path, Rubik with Ice Path is so strong.
Yeah.
Because you don't get the cast animation, and it also lasts longer because of the Arcane Supremacy. It's not just that, but you also have the instant lift with the Void. Like, I know FNG loves this Jakiro pick, and it's really good because it has the damage output into the Chrono with Macropyre as well. But, like, I don't think you can rely on this Chronosphere now that they have the Venge pick. And the best thing for OG is Topson plays this Venge mid sometimes as well, so it doesn't necessarily have to be a 5.
They go back to the DK. So DK, which Limp did really well with in the second game, allowed him to play Dota for that one. So we'll see if that's the case again here, and what OG are going to do over in mid. Like you said, that they might even go for the Venge in the mid lane, but we'll see.
No, I think with the DK pick, I don't think they'll put the Venge mid anymore. They'll put the Venge as the 5 and then pick some hero that does okay against the DK mid. It could be S4 playing the offlane DK. We have to say that as well. Like, it doesn't have to be this position too. But they have last pick overall in the draft anyway on OG, so they're going to find out anyway before they have their pick. They need to ban out 2 heroes here on Alliance that do well against the DK mid. So I'm looking at things like Viper and Timbersaw here, I think, are the big ones.
Actually, they ban out the Monkey King, and that was that was something that Limp had such a problem playing against in the first game. Granted, he was playing Doom in the first game, and that matchup really just went very much in favor of Topson, but
I actually think something like the Ember Spirit might still be really good for OG, though. Because until Void gets BKB, like, he has to be so worried about these chains. Like, DK and Ember kind of just trade farm mid. You have the Empower as well, which is nice. But again, like, I think Viper, Timber are still the other two. Because it gives them their damage output that they're kind of lacking at the moment. Like, they don't really have any burst damage, right, on OG. They have this Magnus and they have the Jug, which is good right-click and whatnot, but I think that's why something like the Ember is so good, because it gives them that kind of pseudo-damage with both, with the magic and the physical. And they actually banned Timber. Okay.
Ban it themselves. Again, it could have just been the offlane DK, then into that mid-Timber, or even offlane Timber.
They might just be looking at taking the Tiny again, honestly. Like, I don't think the Tiny itself was the issue last game, right? Like, the issue OG had last game was that they kind of got picked off one by one, and no hero picks are going to solve that. Pugner's a good ban as well. It's like another save for the Chronosphere if they need it. They don't really have an egg hitter at the moment on OG. I mean, they've got the Jug, I guess, but there's no, like, easy way to necessarily get to that egg right now. Like, there's no range hits, right? I still think Viper looks really good for them this game.
Yeah, I could agree.
Like, you get the break for the DK as well. The break's good against the Void. Can be difficult to kill. Pairs up well with the Venge, with the Aura.
Doom ban, Pugna ban.
What do Alliance need? They kind of...
Would Mars be okay?
It's not against the Jug, I don't think.
Okay, Nature's Prophet comes in, mobility there with the Nature's Prophet. I like it with the Chronosphere, as well as getting that the right clicks in, having the Wrath of Nature early on. I think it's a decent pick for you.
This is really good as well, because they can swap the DK and the Nature's Prophet depending on the mid lane matchup from OG. And they kind of like the Nature's Prophet should do okay against anything. But if they feel like it's a bad matchup for the DK, they just put the Nature's Prophet there, and they just put the DK offlane from S4. This Nature's Prophet pick's actually really good. So now you need something that could lane up against against Dragon Knight and Nature's Prophet.
Ooh, so Zeus comes in, and I don't know if I was expecting the Zeus, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I talked about how they lacked a little bit of burst damage, but I wasn't expecting that to come through.
It'll be the mid Zeus, safe lane Jug, off lane Mag, of course, Socks on the Rubik, leaving No Tail for the Venge. Excuse me. Limp on the DK, FNG on that Jakiro, Nika Baby playing the Faceless Void, leaving S4 for the Nature's Prophet, and Hanskin for the Phoenix. So it's... I like the Zeus pick. We'll see how they can do up against this Faceless Void. I'm excited to see how Soxa plays on this Rubik, honestly.
Yeah, it's a pretty good Rubik game. Like, if you ever get a stun from DK, or like the Breathe Fire is really good as well. Chronosphere potential, like Ice Path's obviously the main one. I worry on Alliance about their ability to get to the Zeus in the fights. Like, DK's going to need a blink. Obviously, Nature's Prophet can TP in behind at some point, but somebody needs to be able to link up with the Nature's Prophet in the back of the fight, and I don't know how they're going to get there at the moment, because I don't think S4 can kill off Topson by himself. Yeah. Like, how do they ever go high ground unless they kill the Zeus on Alliance? Yeah. It's pretty difficult. Again, I don't think it's a massively one-sided draft, though, either way.
No, not at all.
So, like, game 1 I thought was pretty one-sided. Game 2 came was like a little bit more even. And then I think this is another even one again. Like, they have good team fight on both sides. You know, one team's got RP and the Thunder God's Wrath. The other one's got Chrono Egg.
And they also they have RP, Thunder God's Wrath, and the Omni Slash as well. Like, I think there's a lot here. They've got the save of the swap too. So like these Chronospheres, you gotta make sure that you've got control of that Venge. Yeah, otherwise it's just not gonna go well.
I think the laning stage looks relatively even as well. Like, DK against Zeus Smith, they should both just trade farm, really. Like, especially when DK gets to like level 3, if you have like 2 points in the armor. Yes, Zeus does magical damage, but you can keep yourself sustained in the lane by buying a brace or or too early on top of that regen. Like, Void Jakiro should do fine against Mag, Rubik, like, they should both farm.
Prepare for battle.
Oh, but Seb's actually heading top. So they want to put the Magnus up against the Nature's Prophet. Yeah, that's much better for OG. I wonder if No-Tail will TP bot lane to go in like an aggro try, because he has this Basilius, which indicates to me that they might be looking to try lane here. They need to make sure they don't give away their lanes here, though, on OG. Seb just going to hide in the trees.
Ooh, oh, I think he just got spotted.
Yeah. I wonder if S4 still carries on walking top here.
Doesn't look like it.
Yeah, Void's going to start heading top. Like, I mean, that's... I don't know why Seb poked his head through there. Like, I feel like there's no need.
Maybe didn't expect someone to be at that spot right there.
I mean, you know Hansen's going to be coming in, though, or like somebody's going to be coming in, right?
Yeah. Does feel like a little bit of timings, though. Just didn't work out.
Yeah.
So they'll have Nico Baby head towards top, and S4 head towards bottom, just off that little bit of vision.
The battle
that
begins.
Glimpse.
At least Alliance don't get 4 bounty runes this time. That felt pretty good for them after the first blood. They got far. I mean, they got so far ahead last game because of those two things combined. Like, it was so good for them.
That was very important there to just, have that first blood grab 4. When you grab 4 bounty runes at the beginning, it is... If you haven't doubled down yet...
Yeah, I love watching Nico Baby Void as well.
Down.
I think he's really good at this hero. I feel like I've said that about a lot of different heroes for Nico Baby this tournament.
What, do you love him on this Void?
Yeah. I love watching him play a hero.
I mean, he played perfectly on that Slark that one game too, and I love watching him play on that as well. It's pretty disgusting. We'll see how these lanes go. Seb's still gonna be up here. Do you think they swap lanes at any point for OG, or are they just gonna keep it this way?
They'll just keep it the way it is now. Mm-hmm. You can't TP because then like Alliance just do the same and they TP themselves, right?
Yeah, so it becomes a bit of musical lanes, and whoever uses their TP first usually loses out.
Oh, they both just trade, right? Nobody loses out. It's just they trade evenly with it.
Yeah, you just don't get what you want, though.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying.
But OG are controlling their lane equilibrium really well at the moment. You can see they've blocked the small camp as well. And Alliance themselves blocked the big camp. But wherever the lane equilibrium sits in this lane is where it's going to be staying, because there's no pulls to be had. They're about to hit their level 2s here, though, on OG, so they might look to make a play relatively soon.
Magic Missile, Wave of Terror, S4, Blade Fury on him, trying to TP out, will do so successfully, so will FNG.
Saxa was not nearby. I don't know where he disappeared to there, but... Does he... Oh, he stacked the Ancient Camp. Okay. Early
stacked the Ancient Camp, and... that was important for OG in the last game to kind of keep themselves in it and keep their heads above water, but at the end of the day, it didn't end up saving them. But if you can get it started here, get yourself a little bit of an advantage, and then work with that Ancient Camp, especially with mid one already being in the bottom half of the map, there's it feels like there's certainly opportunity for them to do something with it now. S4, Blade Fury, after getting hit with the Magic Missile, is able to retreat.
And he can't TP back to base here because his teleport scroll is on cooldown for 35 seconds. So he's going to struggle a little bit here. And again, it's the same thing. The lane equilibrium...
might just give him the salve, though. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, the lane equilibrium is in a really good place for OG, right? The good thing, though, for Alliance is these other 2 lanes are going so well. This top lane and this mid lane. Saxa TP's top, but he's instantly getting pounded here. That's a courier death.
Seb just letting his courier go on, skin looking for the high 5. Nobody's gonna reciprocate.
Oh, of course, now Seb, yeah. That's on purpose. Okay. TI and OG. Name a more iconic duo.
So, Thompson on this mid Zeus at the moment. Does he have the bottle coming out now? Yeah, he does. Okay. So that 4-minute rune spawn here, going to be an interesting one. And I think because the side lanes are so action-packed, we're not going to see the supports rotate over this time. So it looks like it's going to be a 50-50 or so for the runes here.
Yeah, maybe not at the 4-minute mark. Do you think that they make the rotation at the 5-minute mark to go with this catapult? Especially with the DK, we saw that in the last game.
Potentially, yeah. But then who rotates over? Like maybe the Phoenix, but the Zeus clears the wave so quickly.
FNG, one shot from dead, goes into the trees. Mid one trying to close the gap, uses that Quelling Blade to take out a tree, but no tail. He goes down, Thompson falls. FNG will die as well. 2 heroes gone to the side of OG. Well, they just lose FNG to mid one.
I don't know what the Observer saw and what he didn't. In the mid lane, Thompson tried to get really greedy. He got the bottle and went for the illusion rune, but he just got stunned up by the DK and died. And now, when Zeus comes back to lane again, DK has this level 6 now. So it's going to be a little bit difficult for Thompson here.
At least Thompson has a full bottle to work with.
Look at his skill board, though, actually. He skipped the lightning bolt completely.
And just gone into the static field.
Interesting.
So, spams the arc lightning immediately.
A 3-0-2 is such... I don't think I've ever seen this. Like, on a mid... Not recently, at least, on mid-Zeus's. I feel like they nearly always go lightning bolt.
Yeah, a little bit of a surprise that he's held off on that. That's for sure.
I mean, the wave clear is going to be really nice against the Nature's Prophet and whatnot. FNG's coming in here.
Yeah,
and the
so
Phoenix is heading over.
from the other side. Sox had spotted Hanskin, but they've got themselves the Dragon Toe as well as the Icarus Dive out onto Thompson. Thompson throws an Arc Lightning. I don't know if it's going to be enough. He's burning away. One more shot comes in from Limp to finish him off. The Blade Fury from mid one on a Limp. It's not going to be enough, especially with the Sunray from Hanskin. Well done to keep him alive. Now they've got the Liquid Fire. No Tail makes the rotation. Healing Word, so mid one's okay. They don't lose anything on the side of Alliance. They get yet another kill. And that is the second time that Thompson's died mid.
Okay, so the big thing about the rotation, though, from OG is that the catapult dies. So if they get the Zeus kill there and start pushing the tower without OG rotating in, it's an absolute disaster, because that tier 1 mid can die from OG, but they at least keep it alive. That's the big thing. I just worry for OG here that Nico Baby's getting absolute free farm up in this top lane. Like, he's having an amazing time.
He is 36 and 17, now 37 and 17. But this is what we saw in the second game was just the Limp and Nico Baby having a much better time. Bottom, Blade Fury on S4, he'll TP away. FNG dual breath on a mid one. Thunder God's Wrath will kill off S4, but mid one he's gonna die here to FNG. No Tail throws the magic missile. Dual breath up in just a second. FNG's not gonna go for more, but he does take out the Jug as they do lose the offlane technical 3-position Nature's Prophet.
Really nice timing by Thompson. Just about getting that Thunder God's Wrath in at the last second. Top lane.
S4 TP's in, and we'll use that Sprout. They'll try to get the kill onto the Venge. One more shot, but the Blade Fury's out on an FNG. They take out the Jug. Meanwhile, over towards top, Nico Baby and Hanskin were pushing through onto the Rubik, but don't find the kill.
Yeah, I thought they were going to get Saxo as well there, but they were lacking the lockdown, unfortunately. Yeah, and he actually goes for the maxed out Arc Lightning on the mid lane. Wow.
Nico Baby rotating towards mid. They've got the Dragon Tail out on a Thompson, and I think Nico Baby's looking for the Chronosphere. Yeah, he'll get it, and they'll get themselves a kill on a Thompson once again. He makes the rotation mid just to grab this kill for the 3rd time on a Thompson.
Yeah, and he doesn't even have boots. Like, he just walks in. Well, not walks in, he time walks in Chronospheres, but... I mean, massive kill, and again, it's the same thing. If they get this kill, they might be able to push for the mid-tier 1 here. Bot lane,
he's
though.
Dead again. Oh, I say that, and I've cast or cursed it. That's, my bad, Alliance.
He has no salve, though, on mid 1, so he's going to have to just back off a little bit here. No healing ward now.
Yeah, just used it, got killed immediately.
Yeah, so he's bringing one out on the courier. They still have this big 3-stack on the Ancients, though, to work with on OG.
No Tail ends up going down to FNG. with S4 here.
I wasn't even looking at that. I guess that's the Prophet TPing in behind.
Yeah, S4 now has Wrath of Nature. So the damage output from Alliance will be that much more when they're trying to fight, especially, get the Chronosphere into the Wrath of Nature, have Limp backing you up within that Chronosphere like we saw over mid, but now you've just got that extra oomph with the ulti from this Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, the thing is, it's not just free farm for Nico Baby, he's also getting Midas as well, so his farm levels are going to be scaling so high this game. Like, sometimes we see the Mask of Madness to allow them to be able to fight, but I think when you know you're playing against this mag, it's important you have some kind of scaling capability, because otherwise they're just going to out-farm you with the Empower. And Limp on this DK as well is having a great game.
Seb's top of the CS, but look at where he is in terms of net worth. He's ahead of S4, but behind by quite a bit on the other two cores of Alliance.
It's all jungle creeps for him.
Wrath of Nature,
right,
as that is Limp being in some trouble. And they did use that RP. They're still trying to get the kill here on a Limp. Omni Slash committed to finish off the DK.
Hanskin's in trouble.
In an interesting spot. And he will fall. Saxa gets the kill, and he steals Icarus die.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, that's the biggest kill they could have found on OG. So massive for them, but they do rotate a lot of heroes.
Can they find FNG too? They don't have swap. No Tail can't pull him back any further.
Yeah, No Tail's not level 6. Yeah, so this is like they get the kill on the DK, but it means that Nico Baby's just able to freely farm top lane and starts pushing the tower now. Like, now he has this Midas up as well. Like, this is really good for Alliance.
Similar to what we saw in the previous game. Allowing Nico Baby to just have his own lane, basically.
Seb does come over, though, to make sure this tower isn't going to die to the catapult.
Yeah, but S4 is here. Nico Baby skewered back.
Yeah, that's
Chronosphere to work with. S4 doesn't have Wrath of Nature for another 19 seconds. They'll use the Chronosphere. Seb's surviving for now. He doesn't have Skewer to make some distance. Uses the Shockwave, trying to run. Time walk forward. One more shot will do it. And it's S4 who gets the killing blow.
And they do get the tower kill as well, because the trees kept the catapult wave alive. Or at least the catapult.
Bottom Icarus dive away from Hanskin, and Sunray off the map. Look at him go. Potentially into your pub.
There's no chrono here for Nico Baby.
Yeah, Nico Baby's come over. He'll time walk away. But Saxa, he's got time walking. Can keep up with Nico Baby if need be. He's a level 4 time walk, so the cooldown is only 6 seconds.
They want to be able to trade towers here, though, 1-for-1 with the one they lost top as well. So
they see Hanskin. Swap. And the Magic Missile. Idwin is now dominating.
Amazing. I love when the Phoenixes dive off the map like that, but good catch for OG.
I don't know why he didn't TP out. Maybe they thought they were going to try and do something over bottom. He did have a TP available.
This mid one Jug is now top of net worth, though, after that kill, and he still has the Ancient stack to take.
How many stacks is it? It's about to get stacked again to 4.
It's going to be a 4 stack, yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4... I think, 4 or 5.
And this item build this skill build, on the Zeus is something, like we said, we don't normally see, but this tier 1 tower is still half HP at 12 minutes against the DK. That's so good. Because he's able to just clear the wave so quickly. Like, it's difficult for the DK to ever get in and push.
Especially with the previous game where we saw that DK just pushed in and finished off that tower very quickly, and that cut off the map and really cut off a lot of what OG were able to, securely farm.
Yeah, and this is going to be the Ancient stack start to be taken here, I think. No Tail's ready to wave for Terror as well, 4 points. Or is he looking to stack once more, potentially? No. Yeah, it looks like they are.
And they're going to try and get Thompson over mid. And now Saxa time walks away. They get the kill on the Thompson. Seb's made the rotation. They're really trying to commit onto the tier 1 tower. Dragon Tail, Seb. He's got RP. Ice Path comes in. Omni Slash used. It's on FNG by himself. They'll get the kill. Mid one now into the Blade Fury. Seb with the RP. Finds it. Supernova, though, on the high ground. Can they get the kill on this Void? Yes, they can. Nico Baby goes down. The Supernova is about to pop. They've got the swap on the mid one just out of range of the Supernova. So they look over at No Tail, who throws the Magic Missile on Wells with swap. S4 back into the hands of Soxa as well as Seb. Seb, though, not really doing a lot of damage, has the Shockwave, but they've got the Blade Fury once again from mid one, trying to TP out, but they've got the Skewer, the triple kill from mid one, tops him back into the fight, and now can they get anything more? Limp and Hanskin looking to retreat. Don't think OG go behind the tier 1 tower, and they'll take what they are given, which is 3 kills for just Topson over mid.
But you can see how hesitant Nico Baby was to throw the Chrono, right? Because he knows that the Ven just stood behind the Jug. So even if he Chronos the Jug there, when it's just on 1, it's not worth it. They managed to stack the big camp here. This is going to be such a massive increase of net worth for the Jug. Like, this is huge.
A level 3 healing ward, so he's really not in much danger taking this stack. He's got the Empower, and look at how quickly he takes it.
Bot lane as well. Saxa has the DK stun though available, so if he ever catches anybody with lift, they do have follow-up. Mid lane.
They're going to look over as Chronosphere used, hits on 2, they find themselves tops in, Macropyre down, they get the kill onto the Zeus, they lose FNG, TPing in his S4, now Dragon Tail out on a mid one. Can they control him enough? He doesn't have Omni Slash for another 44 seconds, as well as the Blade Fury for another 5, for the Blade Fire takes him out, mid one gone, 8 times 3 into the hands of Limp. Seb now running away, Magic Missile hits onto S4, but it's not going to really stop him from continuing on, as they've already got Nico Baby as well as Limp going for the kill on Seb. They'll get the kill on Seb, they look back over at No Tail, who's in the Sprout. S4 a little bit low, so he doesn't want to try and go in on a No Tail. He might end up dead if he does, but he's got the Treants following him. No Tail. Can he find the distance? It doesn't look like it. TP though, and Ice Path just a little bit late. I thought they had the mark on him, but instead he's able to TP away.
Okay, it's a great fight for Alliance, but they don't take the tower. That's the big thing. And they've used everything now. Like, the DK form's going to be down, the Chrono's down. They still have Egg, but it's not enough by itself. So I think OG are probably just going to look to go again here. Like, they're probably going to smoke up and look to try and find something. Do they have one? Yeah, Nota has one on him. Maybe they're just going to look to try and take this mid-tier 1 instead. Because they have Omni Slash up. They have the RP up as well. Almost a pipe finished on Seb now. Yeah, and they know that without the Chronosphere up on Alliance, they can't really defend this tower.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
The Major comes out, giving an extra 24 damage to S4.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen. Are scanning.
Invisibility.
S4, what does he have so far? Medallion going into the Solar Crest, Nico Baby, he's going Sanjin Yasha after the Midas, and then Blink BKB for Limp. Topson, Aether Lens now Blink Dagger.
Yeah, it's really important for him to be able to keep his distance. And there's nothing that really saves him from the Chronosphere unless he can, like, rely on his quick reactions, right? And especially if he gets Sprout up or something by S4, like if he's quick, he can just blink away before the first hit comes in. And they are making more Ancient stacks here though on OG.
And we saw how much that was worth for them, as now they've got a 3-stack once again for this Jug. Mid one's finish off the Manta, has drums and phase boots in top of the net worth by about 1,000 gold.
Alliance are desperately trying to take this mid-tier 1, but it's still like 400 HP. OG are defending it for all it's worth. And there's a pipe coming out on the Courier now for the mag.
This is more what we were seeing from Seb on the Magnus. I think, game 1, he ended up going into the Blink Dagger immediately. Might have even done the same for game 2, but he's, at least in the past, built more utility earlier on. Like, we've seen him go Guardian Greaves into the Blink Dagger. But yeah, this time it's Pipe Blink.
The Pipe's better, much better though this game, I think.
Yeah.
Like, up against the Jakiro, up against the Phoenix, up against the Wrath of Nature coming through as well. Like, you know...
So I was just talking about having that utility before the Blink.
Yeah.
But, yeah, the Pipe's definitely much better this time around.
S4 might be in trouble here.
Shockwave, Wave of Terror, Thunder God's Wrath with Magic Missile. They'll get the kill on S4.
And they're going to look to try and push up here, because if they can find somebody else, they might even be able to backdoor the tier 1, to be honest. So, they're just going to head into Roche.
They'll go for Roche. Meanwhile, Alliance, they finish off the Elric brothers' dream of finding a Philosopher's Stone.
I mean, Chronosphere's up, but without the Nature's Prophet, I don't know how comfortable Alliance feel about this.
Right now, it's just mid one inside the pit.
This is so risky.
Got Wave of Terror, so the minus armor is 7 with a level 4 Wave of Terror. But
he's in trouble.
Just left mid one. Blade Fury comes in. He's got the healing ward, so he's going to survive a little bit longer. Macropyre's down inside the pit. And Chronosphere hits mid one. They've got the swap as well as the telekinesis. They get the save. Supernova's out. S4. He'll TP over. They look to get the kill here on a no-tail. They'll finish off the Venge. Now they look at Seb.
still have RP
Seb
up.
with the Dragon Tail. This is a problem for OG. Seb needs to try and make something happen with the rest of his team. They'll throw the RP at Nico Baby. Omni Slash bouncing around, goes over to Limp. Nico Baby does end up dying. Time Walk will heal him back up. They look over at mid one, and he goes into the Blade Fury as does a lot of damage on a Nico Baby. They just can't finish him. They take out FNG. They look over at S4. Soxa trying to do what he can. Hanskin sitting low as well.
Thompson's in trouble.
Illusion trying to get the kill on a Hanskin. Meanwhile, though, Thompson killed by Nico Baby. Triple kill for the Faceless Void. 4 heroes gone on the side of OG. And it's a 2,000 net worth lead, maybe in a Roche for Alliance.
Really well played by Limp that fight. He understands the only way they lose it is if they get Chrono together on him and Nico Baby. So he kind of skirts around the outside a little bit. And as soon as the Harpy Omni Slash...
And No Tail's gonna fall, and
I don't know if they can go Roche now, though.
Still some time. Really well played by Alliance. Really, really well played. The positioning was very solid. All of those supports, it was Soxa as well as No Tail who got the saves there within the Chronosphere. They just couldn't kill off Nico Baby, and now Soxa in some trouble. The telekinesis comes in as well as the Sunray from Hanskin. Soxa sitting on about 1 health. He ends up dying on one more right click coming in from Nico Baby. The essence ring used by Seb. Blade Fury right on Nico Baby. Mid-one trying to do what he can, but Nico Baby has Time Walk and will just continue to heal up, walk away from the side of OG.
OG just trying to delay them as much as possible to stop them from going into the Roche. That's the biggest thing here. Like, they can't give away this Aegis for free. But great fight by Alliance. Again, I want to go back to this point. Limp kind of like skirted around the RP for a little while, and then as soon as it came out onto Nico Baby with the Omni Slash, he instantly ran in to tank it up with Nico Baby, so that the Omni Slash damage got shared out between the two of them. And Nico Baby almost dies again to the Rubik, but just about manages to get away. Playing right on the edge here. And Nico Baby is so farmed now.
Swamp Magic Missile, FNG, he gets dropped pretty quickly.
They have the Omni Slash up in 10 seconds, RP up in 10 as well. And with FNG dead, maybe that's enough.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Roche fight 2.0, Hanskin in some trouble. Thunder God's Wrath will finish off Phoenix.
This is Roche then for OG. They can't fight without the supports on Alliance. Hanskin needs to buy back if they want to. Yeah, he does.
So that'll give the signal that they do want to, in fact, fight. They've got Jakiro up in 10 seconds. I don't think Roche is going down in that time. It's going to be certainly close, so they may not have the Jakiro for this fight.
Chrono's up.
Fire Spirits. Chronosphere available. Nico Baby. Time Walks back. Now they've got everybody on the side of Alliance. Mid one still in the pit by himself. Can they try and steal this Roche? They look over. Nico Baby, they've got themselves the swap. No Tail now. He backs off. The Wrath of Nature comes in. The Chronosphere is going to be used as well as the Supernova. They got themselves the Ice Path, but it actually locks up Blame. They'll take the Aegis. They'll take
Nico
out
Baby
Roche.
gets
And
it.
now Mid one now needs to run. Seb in some trouble. He's here with 4 heroes on the side of Alliance. They'll get the kill on a Seb. They'll take out this Magnus. Ice Path laid down, and they're looking for mid one very, very, very much so. As they go and get themselves the TP forward from S4, they continue to blink on forward, but they just don't find the kill onto mid one yet. Nico Baby, he's getting low, but the Bash just come out in a no-tail. They'll get the kill on the Venge. They look over to potentially continue forward for Soxa. Mid one gets spotted farming, and Blade Fury TP's out.
Jesus.
Dire's middle tower.
Alliance really starting to take over here with this mid-game advantage with the BKB on the DK. This Void's so tanky as well with this SMY build he's gone for after the Midas. Like, he's really difficult to bring down. And until Seb gets this blink, they're really struggling with the hard initiation. Like, they have the follow-up Ice Path from Saxa that he's stoling at the moment, but they don't have that initial, like, laydown before the follow-up damage comes through.
Seb spots Nico Baby. Ice Path doesn't land. It's the Ice Path on the Rubik, so we'll see how much that comes into play here.
Yeah,
He's only got it
him.
for a fourth of the duration, though.
Yeah, it's like 40 seconds left or something. It's not very long, but he had it the whole Roche fight duration, but couldn't really make massive use of it, unfortunately.
No Tail spotted. Dragon Tail comes in. Dual Breath Ice Path down. And they'll take out No Tail once again. He's dead for the 7th time. He's 0-7 and 12 at the moment. Up towards top, they get S4. Thompson gets credit for that kill.
They do use the Omni Slash, but I think they'll use any they'll find any kill with the Omni Slash at the moment.
Saksa attempting to TP out, but blink forward from Limp. Dragon Tail's there, killing spree for the DK. So 7k net worth lead. OG on their heels
top
at the
lane.
moment. Thompson, he's gonna get spotted here. Blink Dragon Tail once again, and there's the kill onto this Zeus.
And Nico Baby has the MKB now as well. This guy's huge. Like, not only is he going to be difficult to kill, but he does a massive amount of damage now.
Dire are scanning.
With me.
Mid one. In some trouble. Nico Baby here. Bash is coming through. They've got the Blade Fury. He's trying to get away. He's got the Healing Ward. But look at the damage from Nico Baby, as well as Hanska with the Sunray right on him. An easy kill to finish off the Jug. And mid one, he started the game
No Tail as
pretty
well.
well. Had an 8-time spree. They're going to follow this up with a +1 on a No Tail. Nothing he can do. Throws a Magic Missile out on a Limp, but it's only extending the inevitable as he falls.
And how much does this feel like last game, though, where Alliance take one really good fight, and then all of a sudden OG take turns just dying one by one. And now all of a sudden, it's 9k net worth out of nowhere, after the game's been even for like 20 minutes. This Roche fight just enables Alliance to play so much more aggressively. And it forces OG to have to split push the map because they can't fight into this Void Aegis anymore. And Alliance are doing a really good job of punishing them for it and picking them off.
Limp. Telekinesis, skewer back from Seb.
There's a Nature's Prophet coming in
Path
though.
of Nature, and S4, he throws the Sprout, doesn't spot Seb, who blinks away and gets to this tier 2 tower and TPs away. But No Tail mid one, or actually I think he stopped the TP. They're gonna look over to go for FNG. Limp comes through with a blink as well as the Dragon Tail out of the mid one. The Magpiere's in. Thompson looking to follow this up, help out a little bit, but the Blade Fury is used by mid one, comes over to look at Hanskin to grab this kill, but he goes into the Supernova and that egg gets blown up.
Nico Baby's coming!
Limp, Chronosphere on a 3, gets the swap out of the Jug, mid one trying to survive, he's got Omni Slash, but he can't get it off! Oh dear, the Banshees come in for Nico Baby, and they finish off this Jug. He's got buyback, they're gonna lose No Tail, and now RP committed for Nico Baby, but this is just a defensive retreat RP, and OG continuing to fall back even further as Alliance put the pressure on.
They can't deal with this DK. Like, he's so tanky, and when he pops BKB, they just don't have enough damage. And it's not even just the DK they have to deal with, like, this Void is just untouchable right now. Yes, I know he has the Aegis, but even if he didn't, it's just about to expire, though. But, like, their main way of killing the Void is with the RP, right? And he's about to finish this Satanic, and he's going to have to, like, double status resistance with the SMY Satanic. And I don't think they can kill him in that, like, small RP duration.
And RP was desperation just to retreat. Lions are playing these fights really well. I mean, that Chronosphere, even with the save, they were able to focus their attention onto the Jug. And mid one, he's just getting constantly locked down.
Just what I've been waiting for.
Down 13k, we've seen comebacks come from
find S4.
20 down.
Oh, he just manages to TP away.
Now Thompson, though, he's finally going for Axe. Like, it feels like his farm has been shut down.
But is that enough damage? Like, I don't think it is.
They take out No Tail once again. He's dead for the 10th time. 0-10-13.
And this is an Arcane Rune DK again that we saw at the start of the game. So the Dragon Form, he gets the kill on the No Tail, but it's going to be up again so quickly even when it's down. They can just look to take the tier 2 mid here.
13k lead. RP on cooldown for another 17 seconds. They're looking to spot out some vision, and they will. Skewer back on a limb. Now do they have the damage to get the kill here onto the DK? The Omni Slash bouncing around. It's not favorable so far for the Jug. But now mid one's stunned up once again. They got Hanskin low. He backs off and retreats successfully, and so does the rest of the team. Omni Slash now on cooldown for 2 minutes.
I mean, the only thing they could have thrown extra there was the RP. And this is what I mean. I don't know how they had... Where's their damage coming from now at this point? Like, Dragon Knight pops BKB and what do? He's going to have the AC soon as well, so this physical damage from the Jug's going to be negated even a little bit more.
Nico Baby setting up, has himself the Chronosphere. Seb in the front of this pack. But I don't know if he really wants to be here. This is a difficult spot for the side of OG. Mid one finished off that basher. They pick up a telescope. He's got Orb of Destruction. Gives the telescope over to No Tail, I'd assume. But the Chronosphere comes down to 2. Nico Baby, he is here to try and finish off the Jug as well as the Venge. They get the kill on No Tail. Seb, I think, fainted on that RP. They look over at Tops and they get themselves a second Nico Baby with a double kill. And now the RP comes down on 2 of these heroes. Can they get the kill on Nico Baby before he gets the time walk off? Mid one's gone. Supernova down. Seb, 4 heroes gone. Buyback from 2. And OG can't find anything here. Alliance continue to run forward and over the side of OG. Looking to buy back on Seb, but he doesn't have RP. Ice Path down, locks up this No Tail Venge, but it's not he who they're after. It's Thompson. They kill him off for the second time. 75 seconds gone, 66 seconds for the Venge, and it's looking unlikely that OG will pull themselves out of this one. Limp's a little bit low, but nobody here to convert on this. Seb comes over, Shockwave misses, Tier 3 in trouble. Time walk forward, Saksa will steal the time walk to get some space between him and the Void, but...
We have to talk about FNG there. As soon as the RP came out from Seb, he instantly got the 2-man Ice Path onto the Jug and the Magnus himself, so that the whole RP duration basically got wasted. Like, they couldn't do anything.
Dragon Tail comes through into Saksa. He does have Time Walk, so he'll get some distance. Lim pops the BKB, mid one back alive. They've got 3 heroes here for the side of OG. The Tier 3 still standing, but Seb, RP, still down for another 60. Omni Slash is up, but I don't think it really gets him anything in this spot. Dragon Tail once again onto Saksa. Ice Path follows it up. They've got themselves the stun. Seb blinks into the Ice Path, but they've got the score back on the 2 under the Tier 4 towers, but the damage is way too much. Mid one, he's been disarmed. There's nothing he can do. He goes into the Blade Fury just back up into the base, but the bashes, they come in. Bash, bash, baby. Mid one goes down, and now they've just got Venge to defend.
With 3 dead, I mean, it's all in on the Tops and Zeus, but unfortunately, Limp's playing like an absolute monster this game and just finds him straight away there.
Blink Dragon Tails into the Ice Path. Triple kill for Nico Baby. Nico Baby dodges the base, looking for the Ultra kill. Is anyone going to be alive for him to get the Rampage? He actually just ends up dead. Dives in too far. He'll fall. Ancient exposed. They don't have Glyph. They just have Thompson, and now they don't even have that. Godlike for Limp. The Ancient will fall, and it will be Alliance who take on Team Nigma in the finals. OG take game 1, and the reverse sweep comes from Alliance to book their ticket into the grand final.
What a game 2 and 3 by them, though, because they looked so down and out after game 1. Like, they looked completely out of it, right? And all of a sudden, it feels like we talked about the drafts being relatively even in this game 2 and 3, right? But there was a lot of times they just straight up outplayed them. Like, I think Limp played so well on the DK